And good morning. Good to be alive and well. And well, that's key word, well. Health is wealth, and I feel great. Great Saturday morning. Good to be here. Welcome to About Your House. We got a lot to talk about today. My guests are in the house, and glad they're here. I got Christian Efird, a sophomore.
Yes, sir.
That'd be a 10th grader.
Yes, sir.
10th grader at Queens Grant High School. I met Christian at one of the Put Tools in Schools career days over there, trades career days. And we'll talk to him. And I've got Thomas Murray in the house, Freedom Home Services.
Good morning.
Thomas, good morning, Thomas. Thanks for coming in. Where you live?
Concord.
So you're in Cabarrus County.
Yes.
Gotcha. And say the drive in this morning was pleasant.
It was pleasant.
Cool.
Yeah.
Which is rare in Charlotte, North Carolina to say, I had a pleasant drive somewhere.
I
Oh, it was fun.
had to plan for 45 minutes and I got here in 25.
Yeah. There you go.
That's what I'm used to.
See, wow, we got early. Woo.
Where's everybody?
And I criticize traffic in Charlotte all the time, but it's not good, is it?
No, it's slam packed out there.
But Tom, how many times you been in studio? Did you come when I was out in Seattle
I snuck in here, yeah.
with our buddy Matthew?
Yep.
There you go. Well, I wasn't even aware of that when I asked you to come in here. People think I listen to the show when I'm out of town. Well, you're wrong. I don't.
You don't eat and breathe this stuff
Well, no, I do it. I love
when you're on vacation.
when I'm on vacation. I'm fortunate that I have great people, a good team of guys. Richton here covers it and does a great job, as he did with you guys. And I appreciate that. And
My wife actually came in the studio.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. I love to have ladies in the studio. I'm a big advocate of women in construction and women in the trades, women in the industry, and frankly, women. I like them. But I'm a pretty normal dude. We're supposed to, and that's the way we're supposed to work back. It's the way it works. That seems to be in question a lot these days. I don't understand it. I really don't. But that's another show. And by the way, on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. For a long time, I've been been a part of working on developing a teaching aid called the Toolbox around puttoolsinschools.org. And in this day and time, it takes a long time to do things because you can't get help. And you hear that everywhere I go. Thomas?
Agree.
Can't get help. Christian, you're too young. You don't understand it yet. But you will. You will. You will learn. But anyway, you keep going. You keep fighting the fight. You keep going down the road and go forward. And that's the attitude you must have if you want something badly. And we're developing a podcast studio over there. Actually, it was built back pre-COVID, believe it or not. I built it and thought it through. That's probably the fourth or fifth podcast studio that I've been involved with, building and assembling and putting together. It's very interesting because you deal in acoustics and sound reflection and all this stuff, to really build a nice studio.
Right.
And it's fun. And there's electrical involved, there's cabling involved, there's every aspect of kind of construction involved in that. And you got to build it, drywall, painting, finishing, all that stuff. But it's been fun. Okay. I built it prior to COVID. We built it. And it's over in the space we call the Toolbox. And it's a nice little studio. And we're going to be doing podcasting from there. In the past 4, 5, 6 months, we have equipped it with the technology necessary for 3 cameras and all the stuff we need to do it. Well, it's coming together finally. Oh, but there again, it's still in the finishing touches and the decorating might take another 30 days. Who knows? But Sam Attero with Attero Media, he's been involved, and Sam's a great guy, creative, been on the program here, and we'll hear him again. And he's a nerd. He's a geek around this stuff. I mean, he really is, but he's great. He's fantastic, very creative. Christian here, great
Yes, sir.
example. Great example. Sam's a 55-year-old version of you, and he's really into TV and production and audio, visual, media, all that, which that is a career pathway. of today media. Everybody's YouTube stars. How many YouTube videos are there now, Richton? A billion or
Too
something?
many to count.
I mean, it's off the charts, and everybody's. I mean, and subscribe, and please remember subscribe.
Leave
Um,
comments.
leave
subscribe, share.
comments. You know, well, you could do that here. We're on YouTube Live right now, and you could go there and do the same thing. But I don't care if you subscribe. I care, I do, but it won't ruin my day if you don't. And yeah, I would love to monetize and make money, but I'm not here for the money. Then you might say, why do you do it? Because I'm crazy.
Sometimes that's good enough.
Well, I get up every Saturday morning because you could say, is it your ego? Yep, could be. I don't know. But I enjoy giving back what I've learned through the years and talking to people and giving what I have back. And you do that in the way. And it's the most important thing we do every day, and that's communicate. But we've got a podcast studio over there. We're going to be doing podcasts on other platforms. In other words, beyond this show every morning, we will have other shows. And basically the studio's centered around just keeping it real. And real meaning honest, truthful, and straightforward information. And keeping it loving. Do our best anyway. Although life these days is not necessarily all loving. We've got some things to work through, but on course here. And Christian, Efird,
Yes, sir.
came in today. Christian is tell us about Christian.
I am 16 years old. I go to Queens Granite High School in Mint Hill, and I play competitive ice hockey at the Pineville Ice House.
That's how you got to the job with the kids.
Yes, sir.
You got a job this summer. Here he is, 16-year-old young man. Got a job. What are you doing at the ice?
I am a cool camp counselor.
A cool camp counselor.
Yes, sir.
Well, if that ain't apropos, what is?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So you work out there. I see you got your little.
I got a little scar from it. I got
a wound.
I got a puck to the face.
Yeah.
Got 4 stitches.
Yeah. Are they out yet?
Nope.
They're still in there?
Yep.
Gotcha.
It happened Monday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And a very eventful week.
I know, right?
Yeah. Well, did it hurt your tooth?
No, my
didn't-
teeth are okay.
Right.
That's what hurt the most after the fact.
because it bruises them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, knocks
But
them.
they're okay.
Cool.
Uh.
Glad. Okay, you're at Queens Grant High School.
Yes, sir.
I met, and tell them how we met.
We met at Tools in School. He came. It was the second time. It was the first time and second time. The second time he came to Queens Grant, he invited me onto the podcast because I got an email from our school counselor, Miss Ubriaco, and she said Ray would love for you to come onto the podcast, and reached out, and now I'm here.
And Christian's an example of what I love. I love kids, and they're passionate. And like I mentioned, all right, where you from?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Charlotte. You got any siblings, brothers,
sir.
sisters? What you got? Tell me about
I
it.
got an older sister and then 2 younger brothers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
An older sister, be it Mackenzie?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. And she's so much smaller than you.
I know,
But
she's
any-
4'11".
But at any rate, all right, you're from Charlotte. Parents?
From Charlotte.
Or you live with both parents?
My dad lives in Florida. My
Okay.
mom, I live with my mom
Okay, so
and my stepdad, JB.
okay, JB,
Yes, sir.
what's he do? Can I ask?
He works for Habitat for Humanity
Oh, cool.
as the construction manager.
All right. So you've been around
Nice.
construction as well, working
Yes, sir.
with your hands. Gotcha. Tell me how you got in media. Tell me what you do at Queens Grant. Tell everybody, not just me.
At Queens Grant, I am the media manager. So I'm also the media manager and the production manager over at Queens Grant. I broadcast / live stream the soccer games and softball. But then I also make game day posts for all of the sports.
There you go. You're off and running. And what do you think you want to do in life?
I want to go into the sports broadcasting
Well,
business.
Good luck. Stay with it. Tell them about it, Richton.
It's an adventure.
Yeah. Sports broadcasting is probably one of the toughest broadcasting areas to get into because it's small in nature. I mean, like Charlotte, as big as Charlotte is, going to 2.9 million people in the Charlotte metro area. Now
A
you
lot
say,
of nepotism, too.
What's do you see using big words, man?
People that walk into
Nepotism.
it that have connections from
Oh,
family.
it's all
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's connection. Sure. Well, that's life.
Second generation, third
Yeah,
generation.
you got people in the industry. The
Yeah, but the
industry,
jobs are
the sports industry is ginormous, no question about it, right? And we're going to talk about that too one show about how well, for example, kids. And how many kids think they're going to grow up and be a professional athlete?
Oh, so many. So many.
When and I know ain't going to happen.
Oh, yeah. That's
And
why
I
I
don't-
just play hockey for fun. I'm not out there to go anywhere. I'm just out there for fun.
Right. But what do you want to do in life? You just want to be in media.
Yeah.
Right. And be in sports broadcasting. Okay, but open your mind and go beyond sports. Just be good at media.
Yeah.
And then you can be good at anything in media and take it wherever you want to go. And you're young. That's why I invited him, because I love when kids like Mackenzie, your sister. She's just graduated, senior. She was a senior at Queens Grant, graduated from
Yep.
high school. What's she doing?
I think she's going to Piedmont community.
Central Piedmont
Yeah.
in the welding program.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. And I don't doubt it, because she loves to weld. But she doesn't have to go there. And this is something I tell kids. You don't have to be a certified anything to be great at everything. Does that make sense? We're putting on these kids now, you got to go get certified. You got to be. And yeah, certification's great. It's wonderful, just like a degree. Because when you typically go get certified, you're putting your heart and soul into it to be the best you can be in that area of expertise, be it welding with your sister, right? And that will be great. And plus what you learn in school about metal, about welding. But really welding is learned by just like everything else. Is application. It's the only way we learn, right? The only way you've learned media is to do it, right? Pretty much.
Yeah, I've been doing it since 2016.
Yeah. But but you learn it.
Yes.
And the more you learn like you're here this morning and like the podcast studio, the more you're around it, the more I learned. That's how I learned about podcast studios. Somebody says, "You don't do it?" I said, "Sure." I knew nothing about it, but I did know it because of radio, like that glass and how it reflects all the acoustics and all that, like this room. It's interesting. Don't you think it's interesting?
It is interesting.
Yeah. How sound travels. Anyway, getting away from it. Well, I'm glad you came in this morning.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm too. And he did what he said. Did you hear me, folks? He did what he said. That's big in this day and era. I've been told countless times, I'll be there. They don't show up. They just don't show up. It's another thing that's pretty prevalent in our culture these days. I hear it a lot. At any rate, glad you came. And if you've got any questions, please feel free to and be a part of the discussion. As a 16-year-old, just got your driver's license.
Yes, sir.
Right. You got a car yet?
Yes, sir. I drove here.
Well, I know you drove here. You said that. I
Yeah.
got it, and I'm glad you did. But you've got your car?
Yeah.
Cool. Look at this. 16 years old, off and running. And there's another thing. Not all 16-year-olds want to drive.
Yeah.
Have all your friends drive?
No, sir.
Do they want to?
I have no idea. I have a select few of friends, and most of them are like 15, 14, because it's the age of hockey I play, and all the older kids are just like kind of scummy.
Tell us what you think, Christian.
I think he said be honest. So yeah, hey.
Yeah, I love it. But that's another thing I love about students. Most of them are pretty honest
Yeah.
if you can get on their level, so to speak, and get down and really talk to them like they're human beings and not talk down to them. Do you find, Christian, as a 16-year-old, that people talk down to you?
Sometimes, but most people that I talk to, I surround myself with people that will teach me instead of people that will discourage me.
Right. I love it. Well, I wish you nothing but great success and luck in your endeavors. And I hope we will go further in our togetherness, if you get my drift, because we're looking, not me, just me, but other people in media are looking for people like you that have a great interest in being good at it. But for right now, I got to take a break and do some commercials to pay the bills. Isn't that what they say about commercials?
Just gotta keep the lights on.
Yeah, keep the lights on. Or
Keep the microphone on.
keep the mics running. There you go.
Doesn't matter if the
Anyway,
lights are on.
you're listening to About Your House on Fox Sports Charlotte. Download the free app, stream us live. Great things ahead. Great things. I know it's been a little lull here, in the in the marketing department, but lots have gone down here. But Thomas Murray's in the house, Freedom Home Service. We're going to talk about home inspections and we'll talk to him and find out what he's all about, as well as Christian Efird, a Queens Grant High School student from Mint Hill out on Albemarle Road. Great school, isn't it?
Kind of.
Kind of great school.
Kind of.
Well, you're getting a gym now.
Yeah. Took them
They're growing.
10 years.
Well, but it's there. It's at least part. All right, we'll be back with more right after this.
Show, go to our Facebook page, About Your House Radio. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
Mike Libretto here, inviting you to come in and experience Charlotte's best New York pizza and great Italian food at Libretto's Pizzeria. Serving Charlotte proudly since 2008, Libretto's pizzas are sure to please by the slice or grab a whole pie. Pastas, entrees, great appetizers, sandwiches, and wings. A menu to please the whole family. Dine in or takeout, available 7 days a week. Visit us online at librettospizzeria.com or call us at 704-714-1442. That's Libretto's Pizzeria. Stop in and become part of the family.
Summer heat is here, along with the humidity. Will your air conditioner provide the comfort needed? ABS Insulating can provide the resources to give you comfort this summer and all year. ABS Insulating uses the latest technology and products to insulate and seal the envelope of your home, creating a comfortable environment all year long, also extending the life of the air conditioning. Call ABS Insulating today for lasting comfort tomorrow. 704-821-4343 or absinsulating.com.
Carolina Foundation Solutions is a family-owned and operated company and a licensed general contractor in North and South Carolina, providing foundation solutions from the mountains to the sandy shores of the coast. At Carolina Foundation Solutions, our objective is to help educate, offer guidance, and provide assistance. With over 200 years of combined experience, our family of experts are ready to help protect and repair your largest investments. If you have a problem, we have a solution. Call 877-883-4626 or online, carolinafoundationsolutions.com.
Owens Chimney Systems is known for all professional chimney services since 1989, including chimney cleaning, recommended annually, chimney evaluations and inspections, any and all chimney repairs and restorations, gas fireplace and gas fire log service, furnace cleaning, cleaning out one of the most overlooked appliances in the home. Get it done right the first time. That's Owens Chimney Systems at 704-554-9595. Or you can visit us online at owenschimneysystems.com.
Have a comment or question for the show? Call us 704-227-8986. That's 704-227-8986. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back. You're listening to About Your House on Fox Sports Charlotte. And I've got Thomas Murray in the house, Freedom Home Services, and Christian Efird, a student of media. What do you take it in high school?
Next year I will be taking English 2 honors, Math 2, Bio, Civics, Military History, and Digital Media.
Well, you got it down. Cool. You got a digital media teacher?
Yeah, we do.
Cool. Is it one class or two?
What do you mean?
Periods. One period
Oh,
or two periods?
I have no idea.
Okay, cool. That works. All right. What's your future look like out of when you graduate from high school?
I want to go to UNC Charlotte to study sports broadcasting or just communications in general.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. Well, it's good to know that you're going in the direction of your dreams and your passion. So that's awesome. Now I'm going to switch the direction here to Mr. Thomas Murray. Thomas Murray, where are you from?
Originally Tennessee, a little bit of South Carolina, and then been in Charlotte area since 99, I think.
What'd you grow up doing? I mean, you said earlier you've got roots in construction.
Right. So I've done a lot of things, actually. I started off back in high school. I was, as soon as I graduated, when I was in high school, I was helping out my geography teacher install irrigation systems. And
now, can I just pause there?
Yeah.
So your geography teacher asked you to help him on the side, apparently, do
irrigation.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, how in the world did he pick on you? Because there has to be a see. I remember my shop teacher, Thomas, and this is why I reflect on that. And he came to me one day because I was a student of his, but we were in shop, which was different. But I was an excellent shop student. Okay, I knew a lot when I was young, and this was junior high school, middle school. And he came to me one day. He says, "Would you be interested in printing?" I said, "Come again?" Yeah, what'd you say? He said, "Printing. We have a little print shop back here in offset printing that we print school bulletins, directories, phone directories, various things. And would you be interested? Come out, follow me. Let me show you the shop." And so anyway, I became a printer. But you see the connection there, the student, he had to recognize something else in me. Did he recognize other things in you? Did y'all become buddies or something?
We did, actually.
Which is great.
He was also at my church.
Oh, okay. He was a community guy.
Yeah. And he was
rural America.
He was also the basketball coach.
Rural America.
This was in Columbia, South Carolina.
Oh, well, not so rural.
Yeah.
But yeah, Columbia is a rural mindset. It is.
Yeah. But yeah, he had the option to pick out of 4 or 5 classes during the day, and he picked me and I think one other guy. And so I started doing irrigation after school with him.
How old were you?
Freshman.
So 10th grade? No, 11th grade. 11th grade. Ninth.
Yeah.
I can't get these freshmen straight. But 9th grade. So you started 9th grade in irrigation, in the trades.
In the trades, 9th grade.
Cool.
Having a job.
Columbia, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Making money. Cool. Keep talking. It's a good story.
After I graduated high school, I started going to college, and I came back and I was like, man, I think I need a summer job. I need to get some work. I called him up and I said, "Hey, David, how about are you doing irrigation still? Do you have any jobs you want me to help you on?" He's like, "You know how to do this. Go start your own business." Wouldn't even offer me a job or anything. He said, "Go start your own business."
And how old? You were out of high school?
I was just out of high school as a freshman in college. And
now what'd you go to college for?
That's interesting because I was told that you can go to college and get any degree, and you could get it as
Live
long as you had a
happily
piece of
ever
paper.
after. Yeah,
you could be fine. So
you were lied to, weren't you?
I would say so.
Yeah, let's call it like it is. You were lied to.
It was an uninformed information.
Exactly.
And
but they did a good job marketing it, right?
Yeah. So, which is interesting because when I started doing sound and lighting in 7th grade. I was at the church running big sound systems for
There
the
again.
children's production.
Attached to the trades that you've already learned self-confidence in doing irrigation, and you knew what you could do with your hands and your mind.
And before that got started, the way I got interested in sound and lighting was we moved to Columbia from Tennessee. So it was rural Tennessee. It was 300 feet above the town of Cookeville, Tennessee, on a mountain, middle of nowhere in a log house. And we moved to Columbia, and I'm riding my bike around this neighborhood because now I live in a neighborhood, and I see this 8-track player on the side of the road getting ready to go out for the trash in a box of 8-tracks. And I was like, who would throw that out? And I'd take it home, and I'd go ride around my bike again. I'd find another one. Eventually, I had this whole shelf built specifically for radios, 8-tracks, and record players and cassette players, and I hooked them all together. I had about 18 speakers in my room, and all around the room, connected them all together, turned them all at the same time. It was awesome.
And what you did is exactly what I did as a kid. I'm just older than you. I didn't have 8-tracks to play with. I had turntables.
Yeah, I had a couple of those,
and a couple stereos that existed and with the tubes even.
Yeah,
Oh,
those are great.
Oh yeah, but see, just the working with your hands and your mind, playing. Literally, you were playing.
I would take stuff apart, figure out how it worked.
Yep.
And when I figured out
speaker leads, you always went for the speaker leads, didn't you?
Yeah.
To find out where the output is.
Yep. The most interesting thing for me was when I stick the 8-track player in, or the 8-track in, and it's playing and playing, and all of a sudden it stops. I'm like, what happened? Well, I take it apart, and I find it's just one big loop, and it just keeps on looping around. And then I think through, okay, it's 8 tracks. Well, you got left and right. You're playing 2 at a time, so it's playing 2 and 2 and 2, and each time it hits this little metal strip, it clicks down. Well, that metal strip is connected by adhesive. The adhesive broke down, and the tape separated, and so it stopped playing. So I figured out a way to tape it back together. Basically, I was doing my own splicing and
your own editing and what have you. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had your own editing, 8-track edit,
Right.
edit shop set up.
Had my 8-track repair shop.
And how old were you again?
This was 7th grade.
7th grade.
Yeah.
Wow. See?
And
see, all you got to do, all you have to do, you grandparents, is buy some old stuff like lawnmowers.
or find it on the road.
Find it on the road, all kinds of junk. Matter of fact, you can't do this, but if you go to the dump today, the recycle centers and what have you, where people take their yard trash or metal trash and old lawnmowers, you go out there, you find a brand new lawnmower sitting in the junk pile.
Yep.
That somebody doesn't know how to fix. All you got to do is pull the carburetor, float chamber off, unclog the gum, and get that cleaned out, and it crank right up.
Usually, yeah. Sometimes just a spark plug.
See?
I did that too, actually.
Yeah. Of course you did.
Because
see,
right
you're
next to the
7th
8-track
grader.
player is a mower.
Yeah, right. Tear it up too. Let's tear that sucker apart and see how it works. I did that when I was 11.
So my dad and I took a shop class on small engine repair.
Sure.
Together in high school. Well, I think I was probably 8th or 9th grade at this time, and we just wanted to know how to fix small engines because I found small engines all the time.
They're all the time. People will throw them away because it won't crank. Well, it's a one-cylinder internal combustion machine.
Yeah.
How simple can you get? Everybody says, well, you know about that stuff. There it is. You can learn it too.
The way you figure it out is you take it apart and you look at it and say, well, that looks kind of dirty. Let me clean that up.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you've got it running.
Yeah. And then you figure out the spark plug and you get shocked.
Oh, yeah.
And you pull it. You done that, haven't
of course. It works.
Once or twice, yeah. Oh, shoot.
and then your buddies call you up because they found a go-kart.
Yeah.
They want to get that fixed up. And I did that once, and I had fixed up a go-kart. We got it running, and they said they were driving the car next to it, had the little 2.5 horsepower thing going 50 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Muffler was red hot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I've souped up many and many bike and go-kart, taking the governor off the brakes and Stratton engine. Them suckers will hum, let me tell you. You see my goatee?
Yeah.
That's the result of a mini bike wreck.
Oh yeah.
I ate a headlight of a motorcycle, head-on collision when I was 16. Yep, and here we are. So,
So-
but you're a great example of a kid, a child, a boy, a man, and girls can do it too, like old Mackenzie, your sister. You know, the curiosity.
Yep.
But the self-confidence. What would you, looking back on it, would you say your geography teacher was a great influence
Definitely.
because he gave you, well, whatever happened to that when you graduated and went to him and wanted a job?
So I said, okay, well, fine. I'll just start an irrigation business. And I think I just started word of mouth, just
Sure.
my parents, and told everybody I knew. And I didn't know, a whole lot of people that had money, but that was because I was, all my friends were my age. They didn't need an irrigation system. But
Sure.
my dad's boss was the first one who gave me a job putting in an irrigation system at his house.
You probably screwed up once or twice, but boy, did you learn.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to figure out the whole thing, lay it out, design it, and price it. I learned all that stuff, and pretty much, I think when I came out of college, I was there for 5 years. I was at Winthrop University. I studied technical theater because, all I needed was a piece of paper. I thought, well, I'll just do something fun.
So you went to college for 5 years.
Well, 15 hours of that was ceramics because that was something else I enjoyed. So
You loved, and probably still do, working with your hands and your mind.
I've got a ceramic studio in my garage
There you go.
alone next to a
You're an artist too. And that's another factor of working with your hands and your mind.
Yep.
You find out how much artistic ability and creative ability you have. And guess what? Whether you believe it or not, you all have it. Every single person hearing me right now has it.
Yeah.
You've just never tapped into it.
Don't be scared to take that thing apart. It doesn't matter if it works when it gets back together or not.
Doesn't matter.
Just do it.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. God gave you that ability. And we all have it. That's what Put Tools in Schools is really all about, is tapping into the genius, the creative genius, the artistic genius that each and every kid is. And that is the goal.
Yep.
That's the goal, because we all have it. And then you send them to school and they take it away from them. That pisses me off. Sorry, because our kids are golden. They're intelligent. They're geniuses. They're creative. And all of this means one thing: happy. Right?
Yeah.
When are you your happiest, Christian?
When I'm at the ice rink, honestly.
But a lot of people have to think about it.
Yeah.
They do.
What do I do for work? Oh, wait, that's not it.
No. But actually, it is.
It can be.
To me, with people and things being as difficult as they are today with people. And no, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just being realistic and totally honest. I'm my happiest when I'm working with my hands and my mind and creating and serving something.
Mm-hmm.
A job. I went out yesterday and troubleshooted something that they were having an issue for. I went out there and it took me all of 30 seconds. 30 seconds to figure it all out. And I said, we'll handle this. I said, but why me? I'm not the electrician. She said, well, he apparently didn't know what he was doing because you're here. I said, now I'm not reflecting on all electricians, because I know quite a few that are absolutely outstanding and know their craft well. I know a little bit about electricity myself, actually a whole lot. And we fixed it. But then I went and hung it up, took a microwave down, put it on back up. That made me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
That, for 4 hours, actually it was 3.5 hours. What a day.
Yeah.
It made me feel good, and that's when I'm my happiest, when I'm in control and I can see the outcomes. How about you?
Absolutely. I haven't stopped. I don't stop learning because I get bored. And so I've been going through these stages Anybody who knows me, I've been passing out. I passed out kombucha for years. I just want to learn how to make kombucha. That sounds fun. And now I'm making kvass. I've got a gallon of kvass brewing.
Oh no, what's kvass?
Kvass is a Eastern European drink, and you can make it out of anything. And it's just it's like a soda, but it's a homemade soda. I think originally it started using bread, either rye bread or they have a black bread, and you toast the bread and then ferment the bread with a little bit of yeast and some sugar and strain everything off, put it in a bottle, let it carbonate for a couple days, and then you've got kvass. So now people are doing beet. I've got a coffee kvass right now.
What is
that
it?
I'm making.
It's organic, I take it.
Oh yeah.
Except for the bread. Unless the bread's
Unless
organic.
the bread's homemade, yeah.
Yeah, but that to me is frightening because of our flour sources.
Exactly.
resources
Yeah.
These days. So you have to be very selective on your flour or wheat
Right.
resource, right?
Yep.
But is it healthy? Apparently, I mean, what's
It's definitely
is it-
healthier than
is
the
it-
soda you can get in the store.
Well, I don't do soda. I drink.
Well, it's got sugar and water and yeast. That's it.
Okay. Kind of like beer. Huh?
Except more sugar in beer. Yeah.
Right.
But it is, yeah, it's great. It's very refreshing, and easy to make.
Cool. I
So-
never did.
But then I thought, well, I was actually at my brother's house and dog sitting for 2 weeks, and they've got this bar of homemade soap in the shower. And
Oh yeah.
I did that.
you know what I started? I started looking at the price of homemade soap, and was it $5 was the cheapest bar, but
Yeah,
usually
it's right
around
around $5, yeah.
around $9 for a decent bar. And so I said, okay, well, how do I make soap? So I've got a whole sheet cake pan of soap up on end. It's just the whole thing is a pile of soap waiting to
Right.
dry out.
Well, our commercial soaps and produced soaps are horrible.
Yeah.
They really are. And people, we talk about homeopathic medicines and holistic healing and this, that, and the other, where soap is dreadfully damaging in chemicals.
Yep.
Most produced marketable soaps, But anyway, okay, you're a man of many talent, obviously. Let's get to where you're at now.
Okay.
How old are you?
51-ish.
He's 50 years old. We'll call you 50.
Okay.
50, give or take. He's not real sure. Okay. But he's hanging around 50. Okay. Probably beyond.
I might be there for the next 10 years.
Might be. But okay, here you are. What's Freedom Home Services?
Freedom Home Services.
Why in the world did I call you to be here? What the hell do you know?
I know something about tools. And,
No, I know that. We picked up on that. I picked up on it last time you were here too.
yeah. So I started off irrigation. I went into, what did I do after that?
Well, you went to college.
I did. I went to college.
5 years.
I came out of college with owing, I think I owed $13,000 because irrigation had paid for the rest of it.
So you paid your way through your education. So
Right.
you didn't have college debt.
Right.
Well, that was
Not
cool.
much. Yeah.
That was cool. Well, how did your college degree pay off? Did you use it? Did you what?
I was
happened?
I was a tech theater major, so I used it to help people out. I used it to help people. I did a lot of sound and lighting at the church. I used to go to Central Church of God. It's a pretty full
Sure.
setup they have over there, and I did the lighting for their productions and stuff like that. And then their youth group also had a stage area. So I did the lighting and sometimes sound for them as well. So pretty much every church I went to, I was helping out.
Did you find that the youth or young people were or were not interested in your endeavors around lighting and theater?
There was generally a couple of them that were always curious and
Right.
interested and wanted to help out.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that was nice. It was nice. Yeah.
Because we've done some events out like at Queen's Grant. We've done some career days at Northwest School of the Arts over on Beatties Ford Road. Have you seen their theater?
I have driven by it. Yeah.
It is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Top drawer. Somebody gave them an endowment or whatever to build it and a donation. And it is unbelievable. And what it's done for the youth of that school. Like say, I'm taking tech. Well, what's that mean?
Yeah.
We're in theater. We're building sets and everything for the theater. Oh, you're in shop.
Oh, yeah.
You're that. We could call it shop class.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we could. Well, but they call it tech, theater tech,
Yeah.
or whatever. And I get it. But the fact is that what it's done for the interest around those students, hands-on, creative, constructive, it's just amazing. And you can tell how beneficial it is because those kids can read a tape measure.
Yep.
Christian, you
is.
laugh?
I laugh because my stepdad talks about that all the time because the Habitat for Humanity works with a bunch of high schools
Oh, yeah.
and brings them out to work on houses. And he talks about how some of the kids can't even read tape measures.
90% of the kids I talk to in high schools cannot read tape measures. And some teachers as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's the truth. So, but we're going to take a break here. You're listening to About Your House on Fox Sports Charlotte. Come back. Let's talk some more right here. We'll be here. Christian Efird, the student, a 10th grader.
Yes, sir.
At Queens Grant High School, and Thomas Murray, Freedom Home Services. We're going to talk to Thomas and Christian about, well, why they're here. Actually, I want to know more about home services, and we'll find out when we get back.
More about the show? Go to our Facebook page, About Your House Radio. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
There's big news in the Carolinas. Queen City Audio, Video, and Appliances is now Queen City Home Store. For over 70 years, we've been your trusted retailer for appliances, electronics, and more. Now, we're taking it to the next level with a new name, a fresh look, and more ways to serve you. Offering the same outstanding service you've always counted on, while bringing you everything you need for your home. Queen City Home Store. Same great service, more possibilities. Visit us at queencityonline.com.
Hello, everyone. Mike Sims here from Crown Town Cannabis, Charlotte's first cannabis dispensary. We have grown over the years, and we are now throughout the state of North Carolina. You can find us all the way from Pisgah National Forest to Waves, North Carolina. Find more information about our stores online, as well as locations, or purchase online at cltcbd.com, crowntowncannabis.com. Use code HOUSE15 for 15% off your purchases online or in store. We have products to help you through everyday life and to help you enjoy this show even more.
Let's face it, we do not like bugs and especially spiders and ants. Unwanted pests in the home are not only creepy, they can also spread sickness and cause significant damage to the structural integrity of our homes. Kilo Exterminating has been taking care of pest control problems in the Charlotte area for over 70 years with award-winning customer service. Moisture readings are standard with all crawl space inspection. Call Kilo Exterminating at the first sign of infestation, 704-333-9855, or online at kilo.biz. Again, that's 704-333-9855.
Hi, I'm Sam Attero of AteroMedia.com, and I love empowering my clients and partners to make the most out of today's latest digital media tools. We specialize in building production systems and podcast studios for small to mid-sized churches and local businesses here in Charlotte. Do you need new media production gear? Do you need help learning how to use it? You're in great hands with our family business, Attero Media of Charlotte. That's ETTARO Media.com.
Have a comment or question for the show? Call us 704-227-8986. That's 704-227-8986. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to About Your House. Remember last Saturday I talked about my car vehicle overheating in this hot summer heat. And by the way, it's hot. It's brutally hot. You know, we didn't talk much about the weather yet, but goodness gracious, it's not going to be out of the 90s for quite some time. So, hey, folks, once again, air conditioning, service, maintenance, TLC, learn the system. We'll talk more about that coming up in hour 2 and 3. But I want to reach out and tell you what happened to me last Saturday when I left the show. Sucker overheated so bad, I had to pull over and let it cool down to even run the crank. And that's horrible. We talked about that on the program. You don't want to be in the shape I got into last Saturday. Now, my car, Compton's Automotive, I just gave up on it and put it on a rollback and put it in the shop and let Compton's Automotive diagnose it. And about everything in the cooling system needs to be replaced, which I kind of anticipated. So anyway, it's hot. Keep that car serviced, let me tell you. And it has been pretty dreadfully expensive to maintain. But that's the point in my little message right now. Just like everything, if you want it professionally done and done well, you're going to have to pay the price. Just like everything, be it a carpenter, electrician, a plumber, automotive mechanics, no different. You're going to pay them, and you're going to pay them dearly because they know what they're doing. I could not do the repairs necessary because I don't have the equipment or the tools, which is one and the same. To fix an automobile now, you need a computer to diagnose the situation and read all the codes and everything else. You can't get that. You can go to a O'Reilly's or an AutoZone. Yeah, they can read, they can scan it and read and tell you certain things, but they don't have what it really takes. So the message here is you're going to have to just get it fixed or buy a new car. And that seems to be a theme today. When your car's broken, they say, why don't you just get a new one? It's 20 years old. New ones break too, folks.
Yeah.
And the quality they're producing today, I'm not too sure about anyway, nor are the mechanics that I talk to. So I'm just giving you feedback from my perspective. I'm no different from you or anyone else. We all drive vehicles, and they all break, and they all need to be repaired and maintained. So good luck, because it's dreadful when you need them repaired. And then you're going to wait and wait. And sometimes wait some more. So welcome to the world of automobiles that we're captivated by. We're captive, just like we are with technology. We're captive. We have to use it. You have to drive a vehicle, don't you, Christian?
Yes, sir. You do.
It's a necessary part of life. So beware, it ain't cheap. Over. All right, talking to Thomas Murray.
Speaking of not cheap.
Yeah, speaking of not cheap, have you got your home inspector later? No. All right, you graduated from college. Then what? And when did you get married? You got 3 kids.
I did. I got married back in 99.
Got it. How old are your kids?
Kids are between 17 and 23.
Gotcha.
22.
Okay.
Yeah.
22 down to 17.
Yep.
Gotcha. So they're out.
So the oldest is a gunsmith. He went to he started
I
off.
remember that.
He started off in a business school in South Carolina, and then he decided he didn't want to do business, and went to gunsmithing. And now he's a gunsmith. They're in the process of making a gun for who's that fighter that just fought Mike Tyson? Jake somebody.
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul. He would know. Sports guy.
Sports guy.
They're putting together a gun for him right now, which is pretty cool to be making a gun for somebody like Jake Paul. And then my middle one's high school. In college. Sorry, but getting ready to teach art.
Teach art?
Yep.
He's an artist.
Yep.
What's he like? What art form?
Everything.
Everything? Cool. That's awesome.
And then my youngest, he's in high school. We just went to the he went to what is that? Skills USA.
Skills USA. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So
Sure.
he won.
Great program.
He and I took several months, like
In what craft?
9 or 10 months to create his project. We built a electric bass guitar,
Oh, right.
and it's not 100% finished yet, but we got some of the hardware on it. But I'll show you a picture of it.
And you're doing that through the school program with Skills USA?
Right.
That is super.
So he and I put together this design. He put all the design into it, and he put all the time into making stuff. I was just kind of standing there holding. I was a third hand, just making sure he was.
Right. You were
using
mentoring
stuff,
basically.
Yeah. And we used a friend of mine, Brad Hughes, his shop. He's got a wood shop that I helped him put together for his retirement. And so my son and Brad would go down there, and we would just kind of supervise him while he's building this bass guitar. And it's an 8-string bass, so it's got 4 standard strings. It's like taking a 6-string guitar and making it a 12-string.
Mm-hmm.
So you got 4 strings, and then you've got another 4 that are just octaves of those 4.
Was that his idea?
That was his idea.
That is awesome.
I said, you're gonna start on something like this. This is your first. This is what you want to do for your first bass. Are you sure? Because I've never done this.
Right.
And boy, we chat GP'd the heck out of that thing. Just asking questions
So
and
you
trying to
played
figure
with
things
AI
out. Yeah.
to develop it.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. Thanks for sharing that. That's
So
awesome.
he's now he's trying to figure out what he wants to do.
Well,
in life.
he's got a great foundation because art and creativity. I can tell you've really given your kids some great.
Oh yeah, he helps me make soap and helps me make other stuff. Yeah.
Right. Is he living with you or you
Half-time.
part-time?
Half-time, yep.
Gotcha. That's awesome. That involvement, I commend you tremendously because that's awesome.
Yeah, I enjoy it. He enjoys it, and we're always looking for something to get into.
Did you ever work with your stepdad?
I went to one job site once
What's he do?
Have my actual dad.
Well, no, the stepdad worked for
Stepdad
Habitat. That's what I was talking about, the construction.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I went with him to one of the job sites, and I helped out moving dirt, stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My actual dad down in Florida, he is like he's also a construction manager, but he makes sure the house is ready for inspections.
Cool.
So I've been with him on
punch
multiple
list guy.
job sites.
Mm-hmm.
I call him punch list guy, but I don't know what to call him now because it changed names of everything.
Yeah.
What do you call it? A finishing technician on a house. But what's the hardest part of a house or construction? The end.
Getting it all done.
The end.
Yeah.
It's
the
hardest
details.
part. Details will kick your butt.
Yep.
It will either make or break you. I mean, really.
And then I come through and I give them a whole laundry list of stuff to do extra.
Right. Okay. You got out of college, but now you're Freedom Home Services. What is Freedom Home Services?
So we do home inspections, and we also do water and air quality testing and stuff like that.
Water and air.
Yep.
For mold, for
Correct.
contaminants.
Correct.
So you're into the hygienist end of it as well.
I will at least pull the samples and send them off to the lab. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, we've got
Give you a little direction.
You ever
on that.
met Devin Arnett with CDA Environmental?
No, I haven't.
Well, he's a guy you need to meet.
Okay.
He's a certified, bona fide, thorough hygienist.
Okay.
He's been on the program many times.
So he would come in after me after I find your results.
Well, possibly, or do the
results for you, yeah.
or do whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, just another hygienist. But you're into home inspecting.
Correct.
In what capacity do you home inspect?
Every bit of it. I do it all.
Commercial, residential, what?
Yes, commercial and residential.
Okay, how did you get into that?
So I was going back to what I did after high school. I went into after college. I worked for a Barbizon Lighting for a lighting sales company, theatrical lighting company in Charlotte, and then realized I wasn't making much more than about $7.50 an hour there. and had a plumber offer me 10 an hour. So I was like, oh well, that'll help a lot. So I went into plumbing for about a year or so.
So you worked in plumbing too.
Yeah, and then
So
after
you've got
that,
an electrical background in your lighting and what have you. So I
Right.
know you've gotten shocked a time or two.
yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's face
it
it.
happens.
If it bingo, I don't care how much safety classes you've been through, you're going to get shocked. At least that's my consensus.
I remember my first time. Yeah,
Yeah. I can remember several, but
you never forget the first one.
yeah, well, it depends on how strong and what kind of amperage you feel.
Yeah,
But
only
anyway,
15.
to your point, you've been electrical, been around plumbing,
Right,
you've definitely done other
low voltage with irrigation.
LV lighting and sound. Sound is
Irrigation
LV
lighting.
mostly.
Yep.
So you've got a well-rounded background.
Well, then I went into the apartment industry for about 12 years or so, and
Multifamily.
yep, and anything that can break will break because somebody's going to tear it up.
Yep.
And
Especially in rental.
yeah, so that's where I learned a whole lot of my repair and remodeling skills was in the apartment industry of how to fix things. I finally got tired of fixing things, but for people who didn't care where they lived, didn't like to go back on things twice. I wanted to fix it once and be done.
That's a lesson in itself if
It
you're in
is.
the home improvement industry. I made a decision way back, probably 30 some years ago, not to work in rental property.
Yep.
I did
I learned that lesson.
many
Yeah.
many years I did it. And it paid a few bills along the way,
Yep.
but then you just one day wake up and say, these people don't give a darn about this house.
I'm running myself in circles,
Yeah.
trying to keep up with people who don't care.
And then the rental property and property management didn't want to pay anything for
Yep.
quality work.
Yep.
And you were fighting two battles.
Yep.
And you just said, "The heck with this. I'm done."
So I went out on my own.
Yep. I hear you. All right, we're going to take a top of the hour break. Christian Efirds in the house. Sports programming. Got a hint for you. Thomas Murray, Freedom Home Services, home inspection. In the house. Come on back. Let's talk.
Hour number 2, Thomas Murray of Freedom Home Services and Christian Efird, a high school student, continue telling their stories, also talking the industry and life in general. About Your House is brought to you in part by PutToolsInSchools.org, connecting students to tools of the trades and raising awareness of the many career pathways. Also brought to you in part by Queen City Home Store. Queen City Home Store is a family-owned store serving the Carolinas for over 70 years. They're the largest independent appliance retailer in the Carolinas, constantly growing and taking pride in the experience they offer customers with a great product selection, great customer service, and lowest price guarantee. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some time with us. And now, here's your host, Ray Terry.
All right, welcome back. Hour number 2 coming your way here. You're listening to About Your House on Fox Sports Charlotte. Download the free app, stream it live. FoxSportsRadioCharlotte.com on your browser. And YouTube Live, Facebook Live. Every Saturday morning, 8 to 11. Well, this Saturday's no different. And we're here. We are here. Talking to Christian Efird, a student from Queens Grant High School here in Charlotte. And Charter High School, I might add. What makes Queens Grant different?
We have less students than public schools, but we have more students than private schools. Also, you don't have to pay to come to the school.
You don't?
No.
It's free? Wow.
Yeah. So
but it's on a lottery system or
yeah.
what? Is that it?
Yeah, you have to put your name into the lottery.
There you go. And there's roughly how many students there? 500 or so?
I would say 500, 600.
Yeah, something like that. And I met Christian through a career day, a trades career day we held over at Queens Grant High School. Unbelievable school. Great admin. What do you think of it?
I love the school. There's been some times that I just want to leave, but most of the time I like it. The programs that they offer are really good.
Why'd you want to leave? Just talk real to me. Let me know from a student.
Fair.
Everybody want to leave high school.
I want to know from a student.
Yep.
He's no different from any other student. Let's hear from a student, see what his opinions are. You can ask him, right? Now, you might not like what you hear, but at least you can find out.
Yeah, just like some of the kids at the school are kind of like scummy, and they're not nice. Kids aren't nice, so but you just kind of gotta turn the other way and not face them, because if you do anything, teacher sees you do it and not them. You're the one getting in trouble. So sometimes it's just like I don't want to be there, but for the most part, I'm having a wonderful time in high school so far.
Good. Glad to hear it. It's a great school. I love going over there and talking to the kids. And the kids are more captive, if that makes it, more attentive. Seem to be anyway. But they still are kids. So that's it. Thomas Murray's also in the house from Freedom Home Services, talking to him about, I bring him in because he's a home inspector. And over the past 20 years, quality for construction new homes has diminished tremendously. At least that's my take on it. Now, how do I know that? I go into them. I see it. I'm called in to see certain issues. Why? What created this? Why are we dealing with this? That sort of thing. So I see it firsthand, and I wanted to, pull a home inspector in here, and Preston Sandlin comes in from time to time throughout the year. And Thomas here, we've developed a friendship, a relationship, professionally speaking, through your buddy Matthew Query.
Correct.
And Matthew's down in the Rock Hill area, does home improvements of various nature, various situations, be it a kitchen, bath, deck, whatever. He's pretty broad, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yep, done very well. But Thomas here, he's a home inspector, in all capacity. Now, how long have you been doing home inspections?
I would say as a licensed home inspector since 2023, April 2023. But as a job, as part of what I do in life is more than 25 years. Just
right.
Because I'm starting off with the apartment industry. That was part of my job. I go into the apartment, I pick out everything that's wrong. I make a real long list of everything. And then I go in and fix everything, or send it off to somebody else to fix. So I'm used to looking at stuff and observing things and making lists and telling other people what's wrong.
Do you offer the service of home inspections for new construction?
Yes.
In what areas or arenas, you might say?
Most of the time it's a pre-drywall and then a final before they move in. And then we also do an 11-month warranty.
Now, when you say pre-drywall, are you talking about after the trades and after the installation?
Before the installation.
Before the installation.
After everything else.
Okay.
So that way I can see.
After all the trades and then before the installation.
Correct.
Okay. And you've been doing that for going on a couple years now.
Couple years as a home inspector, yeah.
What are you seeing? Now, when I say what are you seeing? Seeing a lot of framing,
See a
a
lot of
lot of
framing,
lumber, and
a lot of electrical, a lot of plumbing.
but what are you seeing in general?
So things get missed. Most of the time they're small things. Loose control valves for the showers. I found loose studs where they just spin in the wall because the nailer ran out and they moved on to the next stud after they got new nails and forgot to check the one they were on. I see horizontal pipes that are very horizontal for plumbing, and that should be a little bit of a slope. Let's see.
What about trusses?
I see broken trusses. It happens.
Yeah, they do break, but they ought to be repaired.
They ought to be repaired in a specific way. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, all those kind of things. Sometimes I see roof leaks, even after the roof is put on. There's still some issue that somebody forgot something and missed something, and all that needs to be tied in before you start putting drywall in.
Yeah, I'm not trying to throw builders under the bus here. I'm really not. That's not my intention at all. I want to raise awareness, it comes right back to the quality control of today,
right,
in today's world, and the lack thereof, you might say.
Right.
Are you seeing a lot of just stupid stuff?
I am. I think the biggest challenge is how much growth we have in this area. They'll put up a house in 6 months from slab to closing, and the site superintendents they're overseeing 60 homes, and they don't have time to be checking out every one of them, so they have an assistant.
Nor do home inspectors. I'm
Correct.
Talking about the bureaucracy
Yep.
of home, the building home inspectors.
Correct.
Building department home inspectors. There again, not reflecting to their ability, to their personal endeavors or whatever. They don't have the time.
Yep.
It's just not there.
There's too many being built and not enough inspectors to take time to look around.
And the inspectors hired, how much experience and depth do they have in the industry? There again, I'm not picking on them, but let's talk reality here. How much experience? People in the industry are going away. The old school, old method, experience, wisdom, all that's going away.
Yeah.
Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
It's going away. So what are we going to do? And the reason I bring this up here again, put tools in schools. It's around teaching our kids of the opportunities and the need and the awareness of the career pathways. We're not doing that. And we need to do it to create a better home environment down the road for all. Now, when we talk about slabs, are you seeing an issue between the slab and the bottom plate in houses?
Sometimes it's not, the bottom plate overhangs, more than it should. That's, did they get the slab right or did they get the framing right? Who was right and who was wrong?
Exactly.
Who went to the prints? Who didn't?
Right. So these things are, but you typically do these inspections for the potential buyer.
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct.
Are you getting any kickback or problems? Resistance is the best word from builders.
Not. Usually I'll do the inspection and I send it off, and I usually don't hear anything back until do the final inspection, and then that's when they say, yeah, they came back and they fixed everything. Sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't, because you can't always see the hurricane.
They hide it, yeah.
Yeah, you can't always see the hurricane clips of the dormer at the front of the house because of all the framing and stuff in front of it. Now you've got this one little spot where you're contained to look at the air conditioning system, and everything around it is insulation, which I don't walk across, but I could see through the little hole over there that, well, they never fixed that hurricane clip. They didn't put hurricane clips on the dormers. They're required, but the county's not going to go up on a ladder and make sure they're there. So there's limitations to a lot of different inspections through the process. The biggest one being time. I would say the other limitations is the county inspectors don't generally get on ladders. So if you decide, well, we're going to put scuttle holes for the attic and put the air conditioner and the water heater up there, it's probably not getting looked at very much. Whereas I'm getting my ladder out and I'm going to spend 15, 20 minutes up in the attic, 130, 140 degrees up there. Doesn't matter. I've got to get all the information I got to get. And that's more than most people are going to spend up there, except for the guys who are installing the stuff.
Are you seeing any particular trade lacking more than others? And that's why I had you in here. I wanted to get your overall view because you're out there.
Mm-hmm.
You're in it every day. I think you are anyway.
I am.
Cool.
Twice a day at least, usually on a house.
You could do 2 inspections a day.
I do, and that's what I don't get in and get out. I'm not that kind of inspector. I'm there for an average of 4.5 hours. So my days are generally long.
They're hot too.
They do get hot. It's been up in the hundreds this week.
Yeah, attics get hot. That's another thing I talk to people about all the time on the show here in summer months.
Oh, they're real hot.
We can do that again too. Matter of fact, when we come back from the break, let me remind you of what you're dealing with right now with this heat. Let's talk a little bit in depth, at least 5, 10, 15 minutes about what all of us are experiencing right now. All of us are experiencing it. Let's talk about it. Beware. We'll be back. More about your house coming your way. Thomas Murray, Freedom Home Inspection, Freedom Home Services. He's a home inspector. Two, does other things. We'll talk about it. Come back.
Out more about the show? Go to our Facebook page, About Your House Radio. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
Mike Libretto here, owner of Libretto's Pizzeria and Spinello's Pizza. I opened my first pizzeria in New York City in 2004. Not long after that, I took my passion to Charlotte, North Carolina, serving up a taste of New York City with great pizzas and authentic Italian cuisine. Come in, relax, and enjoy Libretto's Pizzeria, located off Johnson Road in the Ballantyne area. Libretto's is also home of the famous Spinello's Pizza, a 10-inch infused frozen pizza, offered in both pepperoni and plain cheese. Visit SpinellosPizza.com for more information, to find a retailer near you, or just to order for pickup at the restaurant. Libretto's Pizzeria is open 7 days a week, a great place to relax, dine in, take out, delivery, or for catering. Visit us online at Libretto'sPizzeria.com. Call us at 704-714-1442 for the best in New York pizza and Italian cuisine. That's Libretto's Pizzeria. Stop in and become part of the family.
Summer heat is here, along with the humidity. Will your air conditioner provide the comfort needed? ABS Insulating can provide the resources to give you comfort this summer and all year. ABS Insulating uses the latest technology and products to insulate and seal the envelope of your home, creating a comfortable environment all year long, also extending the life of the air conditioning. Call ABS Insulating today for lasting comfort tomorrow. 704-821-4343 or absinsulating.com.
There's big news in the Carolinas. Queen City Audio, Video, and Appliances is now Queen City Home Store. For over 70 years, we've been your trusted retailer for appliances, electronics, and more. Now, we're taking it to the next level with a new name, a fresh look, and more ways to serve you, offering the same outstanding service you've always counted on, while bringing you everything you need for your home. Queen City Home Store. Same great service, more possibilities. Visit us at queencityonline.com.
Let's face it, we do not like bugs and especially spiders and ants. Unwanted pests in the home are not only creepy, they can also spread sickness and cause significant damage to the structural integrity of our homes. Kilo Exterminating has been taking care of pest control problems in the Charlotte area for over 70 years with award-winning customer service. Moisture readings are standard with all crawl space inspection. Call Kilo Exterminating at the first sign of infestation, 704-333-9855, or online at kilo.biz. Again, that's 704-333-9855.
Have a comment or question for the show? Call us 704-227-8986. That's 704-227-8986. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back. Before the break, I said we would kind of review what's going on right now. First of all, it's supposed to be high of 95 today. Right now, the Weather Channel is saying humidity's at 53%. That's rather glorious.
Not bad compared to this past week.
Yeah, not bad at all, if that's the fact, you know. So at any rate, we're looking at 97, 95, 89, 90, 93, 97, 98, 97, 96, 90. Get the idea? Hot as heck. Hot. But remember, you're not fighting temperature as much as you're fighting humidity.
Mm-hmm. That's the South.
Humidity is the discomforting factor in our weather right now. It's humidity. Now, once again, your air conditioning, you love that stuff right now. I love me some air conditioning. Don't we all?
Oh, yeah.
But as a result of that, these air conditioners are running full capacity right now. Most of your air conditioners aren't even designed to keep up with the temperatures that exist right now. You know, they're designed for a range a little lower than the temperature is. Then on days like today at 95 degrees, your attic temperature can reach 140 and beyond and stay there all day. Now, if you have ductwork in your attic, that ductwork, ambient air inside that, when it's not running, is 140 to beyond degrees. Am I right or wrong, Thomas?
Right.
Okay. And every time your air conditioner comes on upstairs, you get a burst of hot air to compensate or for your air conditioner to overcome. You're dumping a bunch of hot air in there to turn the air conditioner on and suck all that hot air back into the air returns and recharge that air. You're doing that all day. Now, why do I tell you that? Because I just want to make you aware. Now, that hot air is full of humidity. And your air conditioner is nothing. ADHD boy right there.
Yeah, kind of.
He can't stay still. He can't do it. He can't do it.
It's all right.
I know. It's fine. You're normal. Okay. It's a good thing. Glad to see you. Glad you're here. Keep wiggling. Okay. But your air is full of humidity. So, and your air conditioner is nothing more than a big dehumidifier. And it takes all the humidity out. Now, how does it do that? It blows that air. it sucks it in the air return. You can help me anytime, Thomas,
All right.
if I'm wrong, or if you want to expound. Every time you turn your air conditioner on, it sucks that hot air, the air in your house, through the air return across the evaporator coil, which has got refrigerant in it. And it cools that air supposedly down to about 58 degrees, 58, 60 degrees. But as it runs across that hot air meeting that cold coil, evaporator coil, what happens? Hot air, cold air. Christian, I'm going to ask you, high school student, what do you get when you got hot air mixing with cold air? What do you get? I'm going to help you. Condensation, water.
Yeah.
Every time.
Every time.
Like a cold iced tea glass, right? Glass of iced tea. What's it do?
It starts getting like water droplets on the side.
That's what you get in your evaporator coil.
Yep.
Same thing. Same thing happens in your evaporator coil. Water develops and it drips down into the pan, the drain pan. And there's a drain on your drain pan. Everybody's got a drain on your drain pan.
Hopefully 2.
Right. What's the second one for, Thomas?
When the first one, not if, but when the first one overflows.
And it will clog up if not maintained. The drain on your evaporator coil, drain pan, will clog up. Not if, but when it will clog up if you don't maintain it. Okay. You, as the homeowner or tenant, because you don't want, if you're a tenant and you're paying rent, you don't want to come home to a water problem. And then again, you go looking for the water problem and think it might be plumbing, and it's not plumbing at all. It's your condensate drain that backed up and is all over your slab.
True.
How many times you heard that one, Thomas?
In the apartment industry, every day.
The most popular repair amongst HVAC technicians are centered around condensation. Would you agree or disagree?
I would agree.
Yep. Where's the condensation? I just told you where it's coming from. Now, where is as a homeowner or tenant, where does the drain go to? Where does the condensate drain go to? You need to know that. If you typically, most of them have a little pipe running outside of your house.
Either outside of the house, sometimes now they're putting them in the washer drains.
Yes, but you need to know that, and you need to know how to clean it, or the phone number to your HVAC technician to come out there about every year minimum and clean it out and maintain it. A lot of people don't believe in it because it costs too much money. I get that. Well, then do it yourself. It's easy.
YouTube it.
YouTube University, right there.
There you
It'll
go.
teach you how. And figure it out, because that right there is going on as we speak. What, 1 gallon to 3 gallons of water every day coming out of your house?
Yep.
Every day, depending on the size of the house, the amount of, a lot of houses have 2 units. So you've got 2 condensate drains.
Hopefully 4.
Yeah. Now let's talk about that second drain. If the first one fails, the drain pan overflows and drains into an emergency drain pan. Those aren't in older homes.
Right.
Those are in newer homes. It's code.
Right.
It's required, correct? And normally there's a little pipe sticking out of the soffit of the house above a window.
Right.
And why they put it there is so you will see it and notice it. But I have found that most people don't pay attention to half what's around in their life, and they don't know what it is to start with. But when you see water coming out that drain, you have a problem.
There's already an issue.
Yep. And if you've ever gone by a house, and I know the answer to this, and there's rust all over the side of the house,
Mm-hmm.
and you immediately say, you know what that is.
He's going to need a new condensate pan. Definitely needs to clean the drain.
Yep. And I see it frequently. I go down the interstate sometimes and look over in these house farms. I call them house farms, subdivisions. And you see a bunch of rust on the side of a house, and you know exactly. That's the emergency drain pan that's been draining way too long.
Yep.
There's the rust, because the drain pan's galvanized metal, and the water coming out of that condensate drain is not good water. and it's going to cause rust. So there you go. That's what's going on in your house today.
If you can see water coming out of that hole, that's your pastime to call the repair.
Actually, you need to go find the condensate drain, the primary condensate drain, and have it cleaned out, or know how to clean it out yourself.
Yep.
I did a habitat class. We called it the HIP program, Homeowners in Progress. Years ago, I did it for approximately 10 years. And every time I did it, I would teach the homeowners about the condensate drain. Wouldn't you agree with me, Thomas, that it's probably one of the most important things you need to know as a homeowner?
I would say so, yeah. Because it's one of those things that you're not going to see it until it's too late, till your ceiling's caving in, until it's pretty costly. If you don't know that there's not supposed to be water coming out of that drain over the window, it's going to be causing damage.
Right.
And it's good to know that. It's like well, the oil light coming on in your car, or the temperature gauge coming on in your car, the check engine light, that little pipe sitting out of the faucet, out of the
evaporator coil.
Soffit.
Oh, out of the soffit. The emergency drain
was the word, yeah.
The soffit. I got you.
Yeah, that if you don't know what that's your check engine light.
Yep.
Something's going on.
It is. And I told a friend of mine one day, I went up to his house and I saw where it had been draining. I said, "You got a problem?" He says, "What?" I said, your condensate drain's clogged up." "Really? How you know that?" And I went outside and showed him. He says, "God dang, I got to fix that." But he's a fix-it guy.
You know, I've seen some of them, they drain over the front door now.
Oh, yeah.
Right where you walk in.
Right.
Because most of the time it's hidden somewhere in the back or
spare
bedroom.
Yep.
You'll figure it out then.
Yeah.
You're walking into your house and you just have water hit your head.
Yep.
It'll teach you, won't it?
Yeah.
You have to figure out why.
Yeah.
So now you know why. And here's another factor that you may or may not be aware of. If you have a new house built approximately after 2010, there's also a micro switch, a float switch,
right,
on your drain pan that when water gets high and it's clogged up, it shuts the unit down.
Right. Completely
shuts the unit down and it won't work. Meaning your air conditioner is broken in your eyes because what's wrong with it? I went over my thermostat and it won't come on. I just told you. Simple things. And there's another micro switch on your, an airflow switch that if you don't change your air filters, it will shut the system down.
That's a good one.
Yep. And then you wonder why. Well, have you thought about changing your air filter? And right now, air's more funky than normal, than in the winter and spring and other months. Why is that? Because you close your house up. Your air is filthy. So therefore you need to clean your filter more often.
Yep.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. I always recommend to use the cheapest filter. It's generally what air conditioning manufacturers recommend, is just using the standard filter, not the ones that clean your air.
Right.
The air conditioner is not an air cleaner. It's not built to do that. It's built to,
because you create more resistance to the airflow when you put these restrictive filters on. Yep. I agree.
I see pleated filters that are wonderful, but they don't last as long because they're filtering finer stuff, and you have to change them more often.
Yep.
But they'll say, "Oh, it's giving you cleaner air." Well, that doesn't matter. That's not the purpose of the air filter. The purpose of the air filter is to keep your coils from getting dirty.
To take particulate matter out of the air.
Correct. Stuff that's going to block and clog the coils and keep your air conditioner from working.
Now, let's talk about your coils a minute in duct cleaning or servicing your air conditioning. You've got an evaporator coil that create the coldness and the comfort in your house.
Technically, it removes the heat. Yes, is the scientific.
Right.
It's a transfer of heat.
Now, once again, and I feel like I need to talk about this, and it's repetitive. Yes, we've said it before. But in this technologically advanced world we live in, with new technology in heating and air, they have variable speed fans.
Mm-hmm.
A slower speed fan removes more removes more humidity from the air than a regular full-blown speed fan, like a cheaper unit. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now you say, why? because it reduces the air coming up across the evaporator coil, the airflow, therefore taking more moisture out of the air. So it works better at cooling your house. You would think the reverse, like most people think, well, jack it up.
Faster's better, right?
Faster's better, more power, more power. Not true. Actually, it's doing less because it's speeding. The airflow is just rushing across the evaporator coil, therefore minimizing the extraction of the humidity. Science 101.
Agree. That's the way it works.
And that's why when you buy a new air conditioning or comfort system, you may question the variable speed feature of the unit, because cheaper units sometimes do not have that feature involved. And that will not only make you more comfortable, it will save money on the power bill. So you're going to pay more money up front for a more sophisticated, technologically advanced unit, but you'll pay less for your power. Make sense?
Yeah.
And it's true, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. Now you do home now that's all I got for you on the. Did I cover everything?
You did pretty well, yeah.
Now that's what's going on right now in our lives. So the number one thing I talked about was humidity. That's your culprit. If you can get your humidity down to about 55% and below, you'll have greater comfort in your house. Most houses right now, the vast majority are probably riding in the upper 50s to 60 and beyond in humidity. You won't ever find comfort in that. When it gets above 60%, you're fighting a losing battle. So you got to fight. You're fighting humidity. And there's your muggy. Now, why are upstairs more uncomfortable, hotter? I told you earlier, because of your attic. Now, there's a remedy. Encapsulating attics. Are you a proponent?
I think that's one of the things that's going to be find out in the long run, because I've seen them insulated, and you won't know about a leak until it's way too late.
The leak is the issue.
Yeah.
Okay. And as I said, in encapsulating attics, if you have an old roof, you don't want to encapsulate your attic. You want to encapsulate an attic after a new roof is applied.
That'd be the best time, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it, yeah.
And a good, qualified, respectable, experienced roofing company. Because there's a lot of roofing companies out there that aren't what I just said.
Yep.
And don't go after price, go after quality and reputation in your roofing company. Because you don't want a bad roof. You just don't. And there's a lot of them in Charlotte. Wouldn't you agree?
I would agree.
On inspections, do you see a lot of roofing issues?
Generally, every new roof I see, there's something that's missed somewhere.
Right, kick-outs or something.
Either kick-outs or damage, mechanical damage is pretty common. But that's, when you get a new house in the building industry, it's there are a lot of trades going on the roof that are not roofers.
And then once again, as I talked about last, to your point, you don't want to walk on roofs in today's weather. You don't, because the roofs are like noodles, wet spaghetti. They're hot. They're so soft that the granules, the aggregate on the shingle themselves, can grind into the shingle, which will hurt the look of the shingle and the life of it overall.
Yep.
So today is not a day that you want to walk around on the roof or do roof repairs, because one, you're going to burn your butt if you sit down. How do I know that? Because I burnt mine.
We've done it before. Melted your shoes even.
Yeah. Have you been there?
Yeah.
I got on the roof one time and blistered my buttocks. I did. I literally had a blister on my buttocks because I was up there trying to catch a stick. Somebody's trying to throw over the crest so we could be safe. But that I decided, nope, this ain't the day to be up here. And really, honestly, you don't want anybody on your roof, service wise, on a day like above 90 degrees.
Yep.
Would you agree or disagree with that, Tom?
I would agree. Yeah, I use a drone most of the time for the roofs if it's especially if it's not easy to get to. I'll fly a drone up there and check it out.
You like your drone?
I do.
Works good, doesn't it?
4K vision.
Right. How many you gone through?
I'm on my second one right now.
How did I know that? Because you at least have done two, because the first one wasn't what you expected it to be, right?
Well,
and you got to learn. That's your learning curve.
Yeah, there's a cage on mine, and there's I use zip ties and shrink tubing to repair the cage before I go buy a new one.
Right.
Because it's one thing you're not paying attention, or somebody distracts you and you fly it into a tree, or you get some airline communication over above, and that always overrides your controls.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. So you'll be flying it, and then all of a sudden it says, "Oh, you've got aircraft communication going on. We're going to take away the controls from you." Well, the drone doesn't always stop, so I'll move it a little bit, but it's actually moved 20 feet. So it may be in a tree. So yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, it sounds like
if you're close to a airline traffic path, you got to watch out for.
I didn't know that
when you're moving it.
I've never operated a drone.
Yeah.
Well, with some of the new ones, there's like apps that will show you like air traffic control and like where you can't fly your drone.
Yep.
It'll like have red zones and green zones. I had to learn that because I went down to Florida, and my dad had a really nice one, and I had to learn like if I flew too far this way, I would have just stopped.
Right. The drone technology today is incredible, though.
Yeah.
I've got my girlfriend, her son is a big avid snowboarder and outdoorsman,
Mhm.
and the production work he does with drones, absolutely phenomenal. Out snowboarding,
Yeah.
and you think, God Lord, how does he do that? Because he looks, but the technology today is incredible. And there again, there's another career pathway.
You should look up drone racing sometime.
That's cool.
The toolbox. You heard me talk about the toolbox?
Yeah.
I had a cyber nerd come in there one day.
Yeah.
And he told me, he said, wow, we could do drone racing in here with kids. I said, what?
Please.
Huh?
Please. Can we please?
Yeah. No, yeah.
I'll do it.
But he said, yeah, this right here, I know you don't think it's a big space, but there's plenty of space to do drone racing. He said, we could set up, so I new one to me.
Yeah.
Drone racing.
Yeah.
You done that, Christian?
I haven't, but I want to. It looks really fun.
Cool. Oh, hey, the toolbox. I'm all for it as long as it's going to teach something. Will we learn anything from it?
Oh yeah. I got a friend
Motor
of mine.
skills.
I got a friend of mine that does drone flying.
Cool.
For whatever.
That's awesome.
Advertising stuff.
Well,
like
I know with Queen City Robotics, have you heard of that?
No, sir.
Queen City Robotics is a robotic. I'll talk about it after the break. We're going to take a break here. I'll come back and do a little plug about Queen City Robotics. There again, it's put tools in schools. Same thing. It's teaching kids how to use their minds, their hands, constructive, creative thinking through robotics. We'll talk about it. Come back. You're listening to About Your House. Your floor covering needs could not be any easier. Calling Floor Coverings International, Southeast Charlotte, and surrounding areas, be it Belmont, Cramerton, Lake Park, Matthews, Mint Hill, Wesley Chapel, Charlotte, Gastonia, Lowell, McAdenville, Stallings, Concord, Indian Trail, you name it. You name it, they've got you covered. Just give them a call at 704-845-3567. That's Floor Coverings International, Southeast Charlotte. You know, floor covering doesn't have to be hard. They'll bring the showroom to you. Many of their trucks, people, great advisors, know the craft of floor covering. Located in Matthews, but that doesn't really matter. You can go online, schedule an in-home consultation. They bring it to you. They'll free in-home consultation. And every house has flooring. One of the most highly used areas of your house, your floor. Everybody walks on it, right? If you're looking for LVP, carpet, tile, hard surface, resilient, carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, you name it, they got you covered. That's Floor Coverings International, Southeast Charlotte. Give them a call at 704-845-3567 or online at floorcoveringsinternational.com. All right, welcome back. Talking, home inspection. What's the number one call you get these days?
Number one call.
I mean, is there such a thing? I mean,
No,
your Freedom Home Services. Out of all the things you do, what do you do more of?
Home inspections.
New real
But
estate
I do
based.
Mostly real estate transactions.
The home
that are-
sales.
yeah.
Okay. Now, let me, I don't know if this is a fair question to ask you. If you were talking to a homeowner looking to buy a new home, what kind of advice around home inspection would you give them?
Inspectors are not apples to apples.
They sure as heck aren't.
And I mean, even if they've been trained through home inspection and they're certified as a home inspector, people call me all the time just wanting the best, wanting to find what my price is. And my price,
They're pricing. They're shop pricing.
price shopping, and
price shopping.
there is no way unless you're actually going to say, okay, well, I'm going to do the research. I'm going to look online. I'm going to read through a bunch of reviews. I'm going to see what the services they offer, how many things they do above the state standards. Unless you're looking at all of that and comparing all of that, the number means nothing. So, yeah, I'm not the cheapest. I don't plan to be, and I don't want to. That's not my goal. My goal is to give you the best inspection. And just like you want to take your car to the best mechanic to find out what's wrong with it, you end up paying for it, paying for less in the long run because you got somebody who knew what they were doing and did it right the first time. Case in point, my son had an issue with his alternator. We go to get it repaired, and guy replaces the alternator. Well, a couple months later, we're replacing the alternator again because the issue was not actually the alternator. It was the valve cover gasket that was leaking oil down the side of the engine onto the alternator and destroying the alternator. So we replaced the alternator again and did the valve cover gasket. Now it's working fine. I'm actually driving it today. But he, you get what you pay for.
Yes, you do. And that in today's world, though, is hard to achieve in itself because the lack of people getting into the service trades industries
and having the experience that it takes.
Experience is absolutely essential. And there again, once again, if people would just think, when do you learn? When do you really learn? When you apply.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only time you learn. Would you agree with that, Christian?
Yes, sir.
You don't learn anything until you apply something. And if you apply it and it doesn't work, means you screwed up. But then don't you learn from that?
You better.
Well, you would
if
think.
You don't know how to learn from it, you're in trouble.
But if you're hard-headed and a stupid man like me, I can be, it takes 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Like taking off a radiator cap from a scalding hot water overheated car.
2 or 3 times, huh?
That was 3 weeks ago. Yep.
Yeah.
It takes more than once. Impetuous. And one of the biggest problems we all have is reacting. Because when you react, you typically have damage control.
Yep. Make mistakes.
There you go. So, but back to learning and this, that, and the other. All right. You in the home inspection world, like you say, you get what you pay for. You're not out to be the cheapest. No. Right. And in a home you're at a home real estate buying transaction. How long does that take?
I'm usually on site an average 4.5 hours.
Regardless whether it's a building inspection or a home inspection, you're going to tie up about 4 hours,
right?
Minimum, right?
Yep.
So that's 4 hours. How much do you charge for a home inspection? Can I ask that question? If you don't want
it depends on it depends on multiple factors, but
well, talk about the multiple factors so you can educate the listeners.
So if you're buying a house, when you call me up and ask for a price, it's going to be based on how old is the house, how big is the house, what size is it, how many garage doors does it have? Because 2 garage doors takes longer than 1. Does it have a well? Am I going to give you a basic inspection on the well, or do you want the advanced well inspection?
Do you have a website?
I do. It's freedomhomeservicesllc.com. Let's see. It's actually, there's a shorter version.
Well, okay.
I'll bring that up later.
All right, we can bring that up and give it to them, no question. But have you got like an application form on
Right.
the website.
Yeah, you can
And
go to the
all
schedule
these,
now button.
schedule now, and it's going to go through a questionnaire
Correct.
giving you the info which you're speaking of right
Correct.
now, and then you can actually give them a price.
Right.
What's the range? Can you give me that?
I would say most of them are between 5 upper floors to 6, 7
Gotcha.
for just the basic home inspection.
Anywhere between $400 and $800.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
That's for the basic home inspection.
Yeah.
Then there's also radon and water testing, air testing, that kind of thing.
Do you test water in rural areas more
I do.
than you do the city?
Yeah. Generally they're required for VA loans if they have a well.
Okay. Well, a lot of people call me and ask me, Ray, what's your thoughts on water filters or whole home water filters or whole home and water?
It doesn't mean anything if you don't know what you got.
That was the point of me bringing it up. And
Test it
that's
first.
exactly what I tell people. I says, what are you filtering it for? What do you mean? Dirt, contaminants. Yeah, but which ones?
Yeah.
How do you know that your filter is going to take care of what funk you have in your water, what contaminants you have in your water? So therefore, you should test your water before you buy a filter. Oh, I forgot. They do that for you. Oh, you don't want them to do it for you because they're going to tell you exactly what they want you to hear.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So therefore, you want third-party testing. You don't want a water filter company testing your water. Yeah, you might want them to test your water, and that works, but you don't want to base your whole decision around them being the water tester.
Somebody trying to sell you something.
Yeah. Believe me, they're going to steer it their way. Or I'm kind of crazy. My thinking's off a little here. I don't know, maybe.
If I sell water filters, everybody needs a water filter.
Yep. Everybody needs one. They're going to figure out a way that you need one. But back to water. If you're looking to put a whole home water filtration systems on your house, you need to have your water tested prior to that to find out what you need to filter out of your water.
Correct.
Bottom line. So, yeah, you need to test your water. How often would you test your water in the rural setting out of a well?
I believe, most counties require every year, but it's probably done every time it sells. That's it.
Right. But my thing would be if you're drinking that water, I would definitely know what's in it.
Yeah.
Just like city water. City water is funky.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. And, now I took a drink last night about 2:30 because I was in the bathroom and I didn't want to go get the filtered water.
Doesn't taste good, does it?
Well, no, you can tell it's not great water.
Yeah.
So the quality of water, and there's another problem since we're on the water thing here. I just got somebody sent me. Now I hadn't heard it yet, but I've heard others about we should not be drinking bottled water from plastic bottles. Why? For the microplastics that are in that water.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very, very, very damaging to our health, believe it or not. And it is. But people don't believe that. But it is. Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
The microplastics.
Yeah.
And it's a big health issue.
And no telling what, the last thing that your new home goes through is the water lines, and the water lines are made of plastic.
Yep. They really are.
Polyethylene, PEX.
Right. PEX and polyethylene. PEX is much better than polyethylene, though. Would you agree?
It's the same material.
Material?
Polyvinyl chloride is the material, yeah.
And PEX too?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's great to work with if you're a plumber.
It is. Oh, it's wonderful material.
I like it. But what's better, copper or PEX?
Copper.
Every time. Matter of fact, the minerals in copper themselves are healthy.
Yeah.
They're antimicrobials.
The thing about it is there's so many different lawsuits on PEX pipe once they get about 20 years old.
Right.
And the companies, it's the biggest part of the issue is the chlorine degradation of the inside of the lines. And you don't see it for 20 years. And it depends on your water quality.
There again, you need to know what you're dealing with in your water.
Yeah. I don't go through and cut the lines open, but if I did, I'd be writing a lot more PEX lines issues.
Really? You think so?
Oh, yeah.
That's the kind of feedback I like from home inspectors and what have you. The multitude of areas that you see, that you experience, and it's collective because, like you say, as new products are introduced to the construction market, they don't know the outcome of this stuff.
No, they can tell you what lab tests they've run
It's
on
just like, why in the world did they ever come up with particle board?
or masonite siding.
Yeah, why?
How did that make sense ever?
Paper. But I got to take a break, top of the hour break here. So let me do it. You're listening to About Your House on Fox Sports Charlotte every Saturday morning. Tune in, Facebook Live, YouTube Live. We're here 8 to 11 a.m. Saturdays, About Your House. We'll be back. More Christian Efird, a student from Queens Grant High School, and Mr. Thomas Murray from Freedom Home Services. We'll be back.
Thomas Murray of Freedom Home Services talks home inspections and some of the experiences that he's had. About Your House is brought to you in part by PutToolsInSchools.org, connecting students to tools of the trades and raising awareness of the many career pathways. Also brought to you in part by Queen City Home Store. Queen City Home Store is a family-owned store serving the Carolinas for over 70 years. They're the largest independent appliance retailer in the Carolinas, constantly growing and taking pride in the experience. They offer customers with a knowledgeable sales staff, product selection, and lowest price guarantee. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some time with us. And now, here's your host, Ray Terry.
All right, welcome back. Hour number 3. Christian had to bug out and leave us, and that's okay. He had things to do. Yeah, very motivated kid.
Yeah, he was.
He's something.
He's got his hands in a lot of different areas.
Yeah, and he'll go far. I promise you. He'll do just fine. I love a student who's passionate, knows what they want to do. Matter of fact, he came up and corrected me. Like he said earlier, I asked the whole class, most of you have no clue what you want to do in life. And he says, I beg your pardon. He came up and corrected me. He says, I know exactly what I want to do. I says, well, excuse me there, young man. And he told me that the first time I met him when he was a ninth grader, you know. But I won't tell this story about Queens Grant High School, and then I'll move on here. I did my last trades career day with him. I addressed the new ninth grade. Well, actually, they're the old ninth grade because now they're going to go up 10th graders. But I was addressing the ninth grade class, 80 to 100 kids, 80. And I asked him, I said, have y'all ever heard me before? Because I've been to that school like 4 or 5 times, and that not one student had ever heard me. I said, good, let me ask you a question. How many of you kids, show of hands, show them high, know what the trades are? Not one hand went up. And I said, all right, let me give you a little hint. Do you know what the construction trades are? Not one hand went up. And I said, okay, one more little question. How many of you know what the word apprenticeship means? Not one hand went up. These are ninth graders out of the CMS system that I was addressing at Queens Grant High School. Then I asked, okay, final question. How many of you are going to college? All of them raised their hand.
So it's not that they couldn't raise their hand.
And then I turned around to the camera because I was getting taped doing it. And I said, in industry and all you folks out there, there's your problem. That's the problem we're talking about.
Yep.
They have no awareness, no idea of the opportunities that exist doing what you've done your whole career. But you went to college 5 years, you said.
5 years, yep.
5 years you went to college.
Yeah. It's good times.
But you enjoyed it.
I did. And I wasn't the one that was out there partying. That's not why it took 5 years. I was enjoying learning.
You was enjoying learning your craft of what you were there for.
Yeah.
Which was really good. And you've used it.
I have.
And it's also put you, well, actually, if you hadn't gone through that, you probably wouldn't be doing what you're doing today.
Correct. I have no idea what I'd be doing today if I hadn't gone there.
Are you happy doing your job now?
I love it. It took me almost 50 years to figure out what I wanted to do. But looking back at everything that I've done, I told myself for a long time when I was doing in the remodeling industry and repair industry is I would look at home inspector reports and, just the wording and just the way they came across. I was like, wow, this could really use some college work,
right.
some education on them. And they were just, it really kind of turned me off on how they came across and how they worded things. And I would get frustrated at that. And I was like, man, I'm never going to become a home inspector, which is why I didn't become a home inspector until late. I don't know why it took me so long to look at it again and go, there's some challenges here in the industry. I should become a home inspector.
I'm glad you looked at it that way because home inspection, I didn't like home inspectors for a long time.
Yeah.
A long time because home inspectors were somewhat adversarial to the construction industry. They always caused issues. And here's what caused issues. And I know this for a fact now because I've been doing it a long time. It wasn't the inspection process. It was pardon my French, no, I'm not going to be nasty, but the stupid home inspectors that didn't know what they were doing or inspecting. And that's really what bothered me more than anything. They would literally devastate a sale over something they had no idea what they were talking about.
Right.
And this has happened countless times. And you know what I'm talking about.
I just had a realtor this past week.
You've heard the stories.
I had a realtor this past week. She wanted, I'm inspecting over $1 million home this week and had never used her because it was her client that had picked us. And she called up and said she wanted to talk to me because, wanted to know what to expect. And I said, when I do an inspection, I look at the home as if everything is fixable most of the time. There's that one house that I did inspect, and the front wall was leaning towards the back of the house, and the back wall was leaning towards the back of the yard, and I was like,
Those walls are out of
you
plumbing.
need to walk away. It's about 3 inches off between this 7 feet. Oh, it was horrible.
3 inches.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I remember an apartment project that, how you're on the phone, you pull up to park and you sit there and finish your conversation.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there in the parking lot of these apartments and I'm looking at this building and I'm thinking, what in the world am I seeing? And I check my parallels and you know what I'm talking about. When you're sitting down and you look at a building, are things plumb and straight?
It should line up with the building next to it.
Exactly. Man, one wall was so bad off. I said, my God. I quit talking. I said, I'm sorry. I just saw something that just blew my mind. It was out. I don't know how, I didn't get out and check it, but you could tell it was out. And you saying you saw that on the house.
Yeah.
Where not only one wall, the front wall, the back wall was doing it too.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it had fresh paint. There were no cracks in the walls. I looked around the house for most of the time until I don't know how I caught it. I think it was the front door.
It wasn't shut right.
It opened in, and
Right.
it opened nicely for you. I was like, oh, that's nice. And I came back to it and I was like, wait a minute. It shouldn't open that quickly by itself.
Gravity's doing the job here. It's going downhill. It sloped back.
Put my level on it. I was, wow. And that's when I was like, yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. This is not fixable and you need to walk away.
Take a D9 and push the back of the house straight, but then you couldn't keep it. That's terrible.
Yeah. So, but other than that, I approached every house as anything can be fixed. It's not a devastating issue to have a broken truss. They're easy fixes. The manufacturer now provides paperwork with every set of trusses they send out for every home. Says, oh, if it's broken right here, here's how you fix it. If it's broken over here, here's how you fix it.
The one thing I can say about the industry of today and our technologically advanced methodologies, through technology, okay, the information's out there.
Yep.
The information's there to do anything. The knowledge on labor, it ain't there.
Right.
It's not there. And common sense, where did it go? Critical thinking, where has it gone? Critical thinking is a skill.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that? And the only way you're going to enhance that skill is through practice, like playing golf. The only way you're going to get better at golf, or anything for that matter, be it shooting pool, golf, tennis, anything, is to practice. Practice.
Get to know it more.
Get to know it
Figure out
more.
what makes it tick.
Exactly. But where do we teach our kids that? We're not.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're not. And they become actually codependent.
So my brother, I was telling you earlier about my son who's made a bass, and we were getting advice from my brother because he's a luthier.
What?
He makes guitars.
What'd you call it?
Luthier.
Is that what a guitar maker is?
Yeah.
A luthier?
Yep.
We learned something today, Richton.
Word of the day.
The word of the day
is luthier.
Luthier. L-U-T-H-E-R-I-A?
L-U-T-H-I-E-R.
I-E-R.
Yep.
Luthier. Luthier. French.
Probably, yeah.
Something that sounds like it. I'm just guessing. Heck, I don't know.
So my son and I are starting out with making this bass, and the Brad, my friend with the wood shop, also has this saying, you are not qualified to do a job until you've completed it. Once you have completed a job, you are now qualified to start. So if you've never done it before, you don't have a clue what you're doing, you're not qualified to do it. But the way you figure out how to do it and to be qualified is you get your hands in and you do it.
You do it. Got to.
So my brother would say pretty much the same thing when he's making a guitar. He said he went through this class and he would get to a difficult part while he's making his first guitar and going through his classes and learning to become a luthier. And he would have to double down on an area where he made a mistake and come back and fix it. Whereas, and he came out of the class with one guitar that was nice that he had learned a whole lot about. He had another friend who went through the same class, and every time he got to a really hard part, he'd have another idea for another guitar. He started making another guitar. So he had 12 guitars started, whereas my brother had one finished guitar. And he was telling my son the same thing.
So you've got
Don't
a brother,
be afraid to make mistakes.
You've got a brother.
Yeah.
That's a luthier.
Right.
He's your son's uncle, obviously.
Correct.
Was he an inspiration, apparently, to your son?
Yes.
And has been.
Has been through the whole build process.
Not only build, now I got to go backwards here.
Yeah, you can do that.
Is your son musically inclined?
He was not for a long time.
Because he just built a bass.
Right.
Well, a bass is not your typical guitar, obviously.
Correct.
And it takes different musical skills and, abilities to play a bass if good.
Right.
To be a good bass player. But your son, was he a bass player before he made the bass?
He had become a bass player, yeah.
That's interesting.
Very soon after he started playing, he wanted to make one because he wanted to make this 8-string octave
What's your
bass.
brother's name?
David Murray.
Uncle David.
Uncle David.
He was an inspiration to your son.
Yeah. So actually, my whole family is musical. So I play piano and percussion.
There's the rest of the story.
I had 3 brothers who all learned guitar, and I thought, well, shoot, why would I learn guitar if I need a guitarist? I've got 3 brothers who can play. I'll just pull one of them in.
Right.
And then, of course, one is in California, one's in Miami, one's in downtown Charlotte. So that's nice. But yeah, he didn't start learning bass. He started learning bass, and then I was paying for lessons, and he wasn't really practicing. And I was like, well, if you're not going to practice, you're obviously not going to get better. I'm not going to pay for lessons. And then soon after that, some buddies of his at school asked him to play bass for their band. And every day I come home and he's practicing. And over the past year and a half or so, he practices every day and he loves it.
There you go. There's a great story. Thanks for sharing. We're going to talk more about that story and more when we get back. More about your house. Got Thomas Murray in the house, Freedom Home Services, home inspections, and more. Come back. We'll talk about it.
About the show, go to our Facebook page, About Your House Radio. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
Folks, let's talk Floor Coverings International. Every house got them. Got what? Got floors. Be it vinyl, be it carpet. Hey, whatever it is, they got you covered. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, and the newest laminates on the market. You want to know more? Give them a call. They'll bring the showroom to you, folks. And it's Floor Covering Southeast Charlotte. However, they're serving Southeast Charlotte and surrounding areas. Be it you're in Belmont, okay, no problem. Concord, Indian Trail. Bottom line is, give them a call. Go online, floorcoveringsinternational.com. Phone 704-845-8567. Excuse me. That's 3567-845-3567. Go online. Schedule an appointment. In-home consultation. They'll bring everything you need to you and more. That's Floor Coverings International, your top choice for flooring in the Southeast Charlotte area and beyond. Once again, 704-845-3567 or online, floorcoveringsinternational.com. They got you covered.
What's up, everyone? This is Jenna with Crown Town Cannabis, Charlotte's first dispensary. Now, if you're looking to get into gardening and not the kind where you get your hands dirty, you need to come and check us out at any of our multiple stores across the state of North Carolina. We have everything in there to get you started on your gardening journey, and a team full of educated staff that'll help walk you through the different products and what you can do with them. Now, if you don't have the time to get into the store, check us out at cltcbd.com for a full range of products and descriptions on how to get your gardening journey started.
There's big news in the Carolinas. Queen City Audio, Video, and Appliances is now Queen City Home Store. For over 70 years, we've been your trusted retailer for appliances, electronics, and more. Now, we're taking it to the next level with a new name, a fresh look, and more ways to serve you, offering the same outstanding service you've always counted on, while bringing you everything you need for your home. Queen City Home Store. Same great service, more possibilities. Visit us at queencityonline.com.
Let's face it, we do not like bugs and especially spiders and ants. Unwanted pests in the home are not only creepy, they can also spread sickness and cause significant damage to the structural integrity of our homes. Kilo Exterminating has been taking care of pest control problems in the Charlotte area for over 70 years with award-winning customer service. Moisture readings are standard with all crawl space inspection. Call Kilo Exterminating at the first sign of infestation, 704-333-9855, or online at kilo.biz. Again, that's 704-333-9855.
Libretto's Pizzeria was established in 2004 in New York City. It's located in Charlotte on John J. Delaney Drive in the Ballantyne area. Serving up authentic New York pizzas and a full Italian menu. Come in casual, hang out, and relax. We offer dine-in, takeout. You can order delivery. We could also cater your special event. Libretto's has got you covered. I am Mike Libretto. We are also the home of Spinello's famous infused take and bake pizzas. Visit us online at librettospizzeria.com and spinellospizza.com or call us at 704-714-1442.
Have a comment or question for the show? Call us 704-227-8986. That's 704-227-8986. Now, back to the show.
All right, Freedom Home Services in the house. Thomas Murray talking about his son, actually. 17-year-old.
Yes,
Big
turns 18
avid
in
bass player
September.
now, right?
Yeah, he's playing open mics. He's let's see, practicing. His actual band is the band he was in were brothers. They're in Mexico for the summer, but when they get back, they'll do some more practicing. He's got another band he's looking at playing with.
What about that bass?
So the bass is
that he built?
Beautiful.
Is he playing it, or does he have
USA.
a commercial produced bass that he plays
has
in the band?
4 commercial basses.
Okay, that's an indicator right there.
He's been playing bass for right about a year, maybe a little over. I can't remember. And he's already got a good collection started. 3 of them are 4 strings. One of them's a 5-string with the fanned frets that are kind of angled.
Right.
Yeah, he's just learning and loving.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Does he have any career goals right now?
He has been all over the place with that. I think his first job that he wanted to do was wind turbine repairs.
That's exhilarating.
Climbing up the tower.
Yeah. He really wanted to do that.
He did. Oh yeah. Now it's now he wants to build bases in a shop. So we'll see. It's
But
been
you know
several
what's
things in between there.
amazing is he learned to use his hands and his mind and critical thinking.
Right.
You know, use tools.
Yep.
And I tell kids, I tell adults this all the time. When you learn what your capabilities are, what you're really truly capable of, and you did it at an early age,
Mhm.
and you can share this feeling with me that you felt, and I know you have, the freedom home service, the freedom and empowerment you get from that self-confidence and knowledge, knowing you can build and fix about anything.
Yeah.
It's powerful. It's freedom that a lot of people can't feel because you're totally codependent on someone else doing your thinking.
Yeah.
You ever felt that?
Or you're afraid to jump in and just try it.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll tell you an experience that I did with a helper of mine. We were at a house down in Matthews one time. And as a result of the radio, one of my listeners, he owned a trucking business, and he owned a house down in Weddington, actually. And he asked me to come down there and take a look at some things, collective. And he gave me a rundown. I said, yeah, I'll be glad to take a look at it. We were there, and just so happened that morning, he lost his water. Now he's on a well.
Mm-hmm.
So I went into the house, checked the switch and everything. Everything's checking out there. And I said, your pump's gone. He said, what do I do? I said, call a well company and get your pump fixed. Then I said, where's your well? He says, come here, look out in front yard. I said, oh, there it is, because you see the little green cap.
Yep.
And I looked at my helper that day. I looked at him and said, you ever changed a well pump? He said, no. I said, you want to learn? And he said, sure. I says, let's go find out. Let's go pull us a well pump up and see what we can do. So we went out in the front yard, popped the head bolts, and started pulling that sucker out.
How deep was it?
It was about 150 to 2,
Okay.
maybe 400, maybe. I can't remember exactly. It wasn't 400. It was probably 2 to 3.
Yeah.
But I told him exactly what we're going to do. I said, we're going to pull this up. And once we start, we can't stop.
Yeah. You can't let go of that.
You can't let go. He said, okay. So same thing. At the end of the day, we sat back. The homeowner had water. You learn how to put all about a pump.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt great. I said, see what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
See what you can do. And it wasn't hard to do. Have you ever changed one?
Not a submersible. I've done the above ground yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've done it several times. First time I did it by myself, not knowing what I knew. But I realized once I got about 100 feet out of the ground, I could not let it go.
Yeah.
And I was by myself. You talking about a worn out puppy.
Yeah.
Stupid puppy. When I got to the end, I heard it arcing. The insulation worn off one of the feeds, and it was arcing off the side of the liner.
Yeah.
You heard ping, 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 ping. I said, oh, dear, that don't sound good.
You turn it off before you brought it up.
I told you I was totally.
The first time.
Finding it was a bear. I had to use a shovel. It was buried in the backyard.
Oh, yeah.
Literally. It isn't now, not today. That was down in Paisland. But anyway, that's a great example of, that freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Of not, I just looked at him and he said, we know what we're doing. I said, oh yeah, I know now.
Yeah, I know now.
Yeah. Uncle Red, by the way, who was my co-host for several years here on the show. His nickname was the Pump Man.
Oh yeah.
He did well digging and service work for many, many years. And I learned a great deal from him. But, and he calls in quite frequently actually. But yeah, nothing to changing a well. Motor. I mean, there again, in today's world with the technology we have and the resources you've got in your smart device, all you need is tools.
Yep.
You can look at 5, 6, 7, 8 videos about different ways to do something and pick the way that suits you best.
So here's the story. And this is another thing that I've done
Cool.
Not on the list of, another item that I can check off and say that I've done. I went to I had a weekend in Yadkin Valley, going to different vineyards, and had a great weekend just checking out wineries. And there was one winery we went to that also had a brewery, and I've always liked beer. And we decided we would do the brewery tour because the four of us never been on a brewery tour. And I walk through there, and we're getting the tour, and I'm looking at the equipment, and I'm hearing what the guy's saying, and it clicks. I was like, wow, this actually looks like fun. And then it clicks a little bit further, and goes, I think I would really enjoy making beer. And by the end of the tour, I was like, this is like making bread. It's just like following a recipe.
Then you went to make kombucha.
I opened a brewery.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I was I was home brewing for several years, and then we ended up opening a brewery in Concord. Had that for 4 years before we sold it, and I was the brewmaster and learned everything about making beer, and then I would also teach classes on food, tasting beer and food pairing, and I did a class through Rowan Cabarrus Community College on how to make beer, and so I would take my whole class through the experience of how to do it.
You said your whole class. How many were in your class?
I did it two different semesters, and both times I had about 10 to 12 people.
Really?
Which is
there's again. There's a whole different career pathway in beer brewing.
Yeah.
Nowadays, especially, good Lord, craft beer, wow, exploded.
Yeah. So
there's another story about Thomas Murray's journey.
Something I didn't know how to do that I figured it out.
And now you still make, what'd you say?
I went from making beer to making wine, and then that was just more of a home project. And then within let's say I was making kombucha, and then now kvass is what I'm making.
Kvass is now your little toy.
Yep.
Cool.
But during the time of the brewery, I opened up a homebrew supply store, which I'd never done. I opened a pizza kitchen, which I had never done. Ran a pizza kitchen out of the brewery, and
how'd that go?
Great. Yeah, that was actually a lot of fun.
So somebody came in there and offered you something, and you sold it. Sold the business, the brewery.
Actually, I moved the pizza kitchen up to another brewery in Mooresville, and ran that for another couple of years until nobody wanted to work.
Restauranting and food service is a bear, isn't it?
It is.
It's incredible. Hard. One of the hardest businesses to make it in. Matter of fact, Michael Libretto owns Libretto's pizzeria and restaurant down in Ballantyne.
Mm-hmm.
I had him on the show to discuss just that. Although there's a career pathway in restaurateuring, obviously, but it's brutal.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's brutal because it's all about people. And I heard a guy this week, I think it was, or was it last week we had a guest in here? He did restauranting. No, I'm sorry. I've done so many podcasts and video lately. I'm getting all. No, it wasn't. It wasn't at all on the show here. It was Carolina Urban Lumber, a young man looking for his sweet spot in life, you might say, as we all do. You definitely talked about your journey today. A guy named Walter. Well, he goes by Wally, and he's a woodworker at Carolina Urban Lumber.
Okay.
And I asked him, I said, how'd you get here? He says, well, it was kind of brutal through the restauranting business.
Yeah.
Through restaurant. And I did everything in restauranting. And then one day I woke up and said, I'm sick of this.
Yeah.
He said, I'm sick of the hours. I'm sick of the people. I'm sick of every aspect of this business. So now he is a woodworker at Carolina Urban Lumber and loves it.
Yeah.
Absolutely loves it. And he's a happy boy. Now,
that's a happy hobby of mine, is turning wood on a lathe.
Oh yeah.
Started making bowls.
Okay.
So another thing you can add to my list.
Well, you're
learning that
definitely
right now.
Thomas. You're definitely what I would consider a Renaissance man. And you like to cook too.
I do.
Yeah. See, I didn't ask you, did you like to cook? I just knew that you like to cook.
My son loves to cook too. I love it when he loves to cook.
Yeah.
He used to come home and I'd pick him up from school in middle school. This was probably 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. What are we having for dinner? Well, I'm a single dad at that time, and I'm like, I hadn't even thought about what I was going to eat for lunch because I was hungry still. And he's asking about dinner, which is a few hours away. And eventually, I started asking him the question, "What do you want to make?"
Right.
And so he and I would get in the kitchen together, and we'd make stuff. Boy, he can cook a good steak now.
Right.
Yeah.
I just got, speaking of cooking, I love to cook. And that's something I'd like to teach more kids because a lot of students and kids out there have no clue on how to cook because they've been coddled and babysat their whole freaking life.
Yep.
Right? They've been coddled.
Yep.
And, and I know this because I talk to kids and find out what they know and what they did do at home or not do, but cooking is, and I'm saying this in general terms, cooking is the greatest place in your house for interaction.
Everybody's got the tools.
And it's absolutely, if you're married and you're not in the kitchen with your partner, you're missing out on a bunch. How many, I call kitchen foreplay. Call it what you want.
Yep.
And I mean nothing but love and respect in that term. Okay. But kitchens are absolutely phenomenal in what it can do for a relationship. If you're not cooking together, you ought to be. And a lot of people say, I can't cook with my husband. I can't cook with my wife. Sure you can. You just got to develop the balance because some people can't. And I went through this all week this week. Me and Mary love to cook. And last night she was going to cook until I said, no, we can't do the gravy like that. She said, okay, I'm out. And
know your limits.
Yeah, I'm out. I said, okay. And all she could do is criticize the gravy. But anyway, and she had a right to because it was a little watery. But it still had great flavor. But anyway, to your point, cooking's a blast to do it together.
It is. And he's not a Kraft macaroni and cheese kid. He'll start with a roux. He'll start making a roux before he starts making his macaroni and cheese.
I get it.
And I mean, we had lobster macaroni and cheese last night. It was incredible.
Off the chain.
Yeah.
Make a bulldog break his chain.
Oh yeah.
Good stuff. But that's an art in itself is cooking. So therefore, and you talk about making a steak and where I was going with this. I've got a 48-inch professional Viking cooktop. You might call it professional, but you wouldn't want it in your restaurant because it's not big enough, but it's definitely home quality stuff. And I got it. I'll tell my story about this. I went to put a hood in, vent hood, brand new. And I asked a lady, I says, well, on the phone, when she called me, she says, they told me you could replace it. I said, I can. No problem. I says, let me ask some questions. What's wrong with the hood you have? And she says, she was silent. And I kind of waited. Whoa, what are we dealing with here? She said, well, to be honest with you, Ray, it's 20 years old and it's dirty. I said, and that's what's wrong with it? She says, well, yeah. I says, okay, there are services that will come out and clean your hood.
Clean it.
Yeah, but Ray, it's 20 years old and it's going to break here soon and we might as well just go ahead and replace it. You got it. No problem. Go ahead and order your new hood. Well, they told me you need to verify something. Oh, okay, I did that. I went out. Well, she has this 48-inch Viking cooktop, 4-burner grill. And I look at this and I said, wow. I got one very similar to this by Thermador, but part of it's not working.
Right.
So anyway, we went over there and installed the hood. And then before I left, she said, Ray, I'm getting a new cooktop. I've ordered it. It's a Wolf. It's coming in. Do you know what I could do with this old one?
Absolutely.
And I said, oh yeah. I said, you call me the day they take this sucker out. I'll be over the next day to pick it up. She said, you'll take it away. No problem. So I went over there and I says, I didn't inspect it when I was over there, look at it closely. It was like brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Pulled it out, the trays on a Viking, you pull the trays out to clean it. It looked brand new.
Yeah.
I said, how many times have you used that grill? She said, once. What? Now, my story about cooking a steak, you got to get used to your grill.
Yep.
And the heat. It took me about 3 times cooking on it to dial in.
Mm-hmm.
I cooked a steak, man, the other night. Oh, wow. Perfection.
Yeah.
Spot on. And I got it down now. Cooked some burgers on it this week too. Perfect. Spot on. So I got it down.
Nice.
But that's didn't cost me a dime. Just go pick it up.
I've got a wine cooler like that. It holds about 250 bottles of wine.
Yeah.
Somebody didn't want it. Okay.
Oh, everything I've got. I got a 42-inch dual fuel Frigidaire Pro range.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. But where do you find a 42-inch range these days? But anyways, before I left that day, she said, Ray, we're getting a new range coming in here in about 3 weeks. What I can do with this one? I said, yep, call me up. I'll be out shortly thereafter to pick it up. And I got it. Now, the reason I bring that up is because that's what I cook on. I've got a 48-inch Viking, and then I got the 42-inch. What do I want to do with it? Well, one, use it to cook with and eat and live. But I want to teach kids.
Mm-hmm.
And that all these cooking appliances are in the toolbox, what we call the toolbox,
Mm-hmm.
the warehouse, the toolbox. And we can give cooking classes in that, And cooking is fun. And with the diverse cooking elements, you've got gas, electric, griddle,
induction.
I got everything. Oh, and have you cooked on an induction cooktop?
I've got a countertop. Yeah, little plug-in model.
And let's talk a little bit about the induction. Do you like it?
I haven't used it a whole lot, but I'm used to gas, so.
I was too, still am.
Yeah.
However, I tell the story again. I installed many induction cooktops, but never cooked on one. And I've cooked on everything else. Now, there is a little trick to induction cooktops. You got to have the right pan. It's magnetic induction technology. Okay. And you say magnet. And in other words, the pan basically sticks to the surface.
It's got iron.
Yep. But the transfer of heat is instant. And they told me in the talks about it that it would boil water in 90 seconds or less. No way. You can't do that on gas, can you? 90 seconds? No. Your water ain't going to boil in 90 seconds.
No.
But so I went to Seattle to visit my girl Mary, and we had to go dog sit over at her son's house. And I was in the kitchen looking to do some dinner cooking, and so I looked at the cooktop. I said, wow, what's this? Induction. Oh, wow. Then I start looking at the pots, making sure we got the right pots. I said, oh, now's my time to playtime. So come on back and I'll tell you the rest of the story, induction cooking, when we get back right here on About Your House.
Out more about the show? Go to our Facebook page, About Your House Radio. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
Hi, I'm Sam Attero of AteroMedia.com, and I love empowering my clients and partners to make the most out of today's latest digital media tools. We specialize in building production systems and podcast studios for small to mid-sized churches and local businesses here in Charlotte. Do you need new media production gear? Do you need help learning how to use it? You're in great hands with our family business, Attero Media of Charlotte. That's ETTARO Media.com.
Steve Helms here with the Al Metal Driving Corporation. The Al Metal Driving Corporation driving company. Regardless of the problem, we can handle it. Does your clothes dryer take longer than 45 to 50 minutes to dry a load? If so, you need your dryer vent cleaned or checked. The clothes dryer is the most inefficient appliance in the house and should never take longer than 45 to 50 minutes. Call Al Metal Dryer Vent today at 704-846-8368 or online at almetaldryervent.com. That's 704-846-VENT. Have you cleaned your dryer vent lately?
Owens Chimney Systems is known for all professional chimney services since 1989, including chimney cleaning, recommended annually, chimney evaluations and inspections, any and all chimney repairs and restorations, gas fireplace and gas fire log service, furnace cleaning, cleaning out one of the most overlooked appliances in the home. Get it done right the first time. That's Owens Chimney Systems at 704-554-9595. Or you can visit us online at owenschimneysystems.com.
Summer heat is here, along with the humidity. Will your air conditioner provide the comfort needed? ABS Insulating can provide the resources to give you comfort this summer and all year. ABS Insulating uses the latest technology and products to insulate and your home, creating a comfortable environment all year long, also extending the life of the air conditioning. Call ABS Insulating today for lasting comfort tomorrow. 704-821-4343 or absinsulating.com.
Have a comment or question for the show? Call us 704-227-8986. That's 704-227-8986. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to About Your House. Wrapping this hour up. 3 of 3. There you go. Get my numbers right here. Before the break, I was talking about induction cooking.
Mm.
And
cooking something.
And I was in Seattle in dinner time, and so I said, "Oh boy, now's my chance." I says, "What about this 90-second water boiling trick?" I put it on there. It actually boiled water about 1 minute and 15 seconds.
That's yeah.
And it that quick, and it was boiling water. So it's truly amazing the speed of cooking with induction cooktops. However, let me say this: if you're considering an induction cooktop, be sure you check your electrical capacity and amperage going to your cooktop that you have now. For example, if you've got a 30 amp circuit, it may need a 40. And you're talking 2 different wire sizes. I'm just throwing this out there because you need to be aware of the electrical component of what it takes. So beware. That's all. Now, I'm not saying you can't find one because there's different brands and different amperages, but you need to check on it. Just like when you go to buy appliances. How about measuring your spaces before you go to buy appliances? Please measure, and especially in the laundry room. Now, one thing I want to talk about before we leave today, and that's dryer vents. You ever see dryer vent issues?
A lot of them. Yeah.
A lot of them. We talked about the condensate drains on houses, air conditioning. Well, why did we talk about it? Because it's out of sight, out of mind.
Yep.
What you can't see, you don't think about normally. That's human nature. We all got it. Well, your dryer, your closed dryer vent, totally out of sight, most of the time out of mind. If you haven't checked your dryer vent or know where it exits the house and you haven't had it cleaned, you may want to call a company and have it serviced. You got any thoughts on that, Thomas?
There are a lot of things that are out of sight, out of mind. I
Help
would
us.
say.
Help us.
So
name a few.
When you bought your car, you expect to be able to drive it around, do the general, change the oil, change all that kind of stuff. But other than that, you expect it to work. Same thing when people buy a house. They get it inspected, they get things fixed, and then nothing's going to break after that, all right? No need to worry about getting it checked every once in a while. You go to the doctor, you get yourself checked. You go to the car to get it checked when the engine light comes on. You don't get an engine light with your house. You get a couple little signals here and there, but sometimes it's too late. We actually recommend if you've got an older house, 10 years or more, sometimes less, depending on situation, get your house inspected. Get somebody to get in the crawl space, get in the attic, see what's going on that you don't know, that you can't see. Let's get somebody to check out that dryer vent along with everything else that could be going wrong. Because there's so many houses I go under, and people think they're fine, and I walk out and I go, well, you've got, look at this picture here. You got some deterioration going on around the toilet seal because your toilet seat's loose. Your toilet is loose to the floor, and it's time to get that fixed. But you wouldn't have known unless you had me go under there.
Or the shower leak, shower pan leak,
toilet leak, kitchen faucet leak. You can't even see the leak between there and the supply line, or maybe they didn't. I see this so often. They don't use primer on PVC drains, and I see this little leak coming out of the drain because they didn't use primer. They didn't do it correctly. Yeah.
You said one of the key things, and I was hoping you'd say before we left here today, and that's inspections, periodical inspections to your home or crawl space. I've said it for many, many years. You don't want to wait longer than 2 years, 2 years max, to have a crawl space inspected.
Yep.
Because of critters, invasive critters, raccoons, possums, and snakes, rats. Snakes don't do a lot of damage, but the others can invade your ductwork and other things that you're totally unaware of until you either smell it or you feel it.
The reason I said snakes is because I went into one this past week, and there was 2.5 dead snakes in there, like full body carcass and everything. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Rarely do you run across dead snakes. You run across skins.
I think that it's because the crawl space was wet and moist, and it had some
chemicals.
Organic growth going on.
Oh,
I guess I could say mold here.
Oh, you can say mold, please do.
4-letter word.
Mold's not as bad as it sounds, too. You need to have it. That's why you need to have it tested.
Tested and cleaned, figure out what's getting in. Yeah,
that's where you get into the hygienist end.
But I believe that probably they were becoming unhealthy and they didn't know it, and ended up dying there because of the health of the crawl space.
That is rare.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. But there again, back to inspections. If you own a house, look, I know everywhere you turn in this day and time is money. Every day. It's gotten really out of hand.
Yep.
You can't walk out of your house and do anything for less than $100 now. I mean, am I right or wrong?
They won't show up for less than $100.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Show up and walk away.
Exactly. So it's very expensive, and you've got to cut costs to live. I get that. But you're not going to save money unless you prevent the necessity of spending the money. And in a house, just like your car, and by the way, my car went to the shop. We're looking at $3,000. $3,000. Your house is no different. No different.
If you had taken your car to the shop 5 months ago just to get it checked out, how much would it have cost then?
It wouldn't have cost that much.
Yeah.
Although that's PM, preventive maintenance.
Yeah.
Cars break. Houses break. Anything mechanical breaks, and you get it fixed. For example, real quick story. I told this story a few weeks back about a shower on a piece of rental property. And the homeowner I've been doing work for on this duplex for 40 years. Somebody had pulled the shower gooseneck out And when they put it back in, they didn't seal it. And that every time the shower ran for approximately 3 to 4 years, water would be getting into the wall. Well, that whole wall rotted out.
Oh, yeah.
There's another example. It rotted out. It was out of sight, out of mind. And the homeowner did not call the property management company to tend to the water leak apparent on the wall.
Right.
Well, that could have been a minimal repair of around $100 to $200 max. Well, it turned into about a $2,000 to $2,500 repair to take it to repair and restructure that wall the way it was supposed to. And we did it.
A home inspection is a fraction of that cost.
Exactly. So use home inspectors the way they should be used.
Yeah.
Or you can use a exterminating pest control company like Kilo. Kilo will come out and inspect your crawl space, give you moisture readings, and give you a visual inspection for $100 or so. And they're going to check for termites, other wood destroying insects, and water invasion. And you need to know all that, right?
Yeah.
And you don't have to necessarily call a home inspector. You can do it through another trade, through your exterminating company, your pest control company.
Right.
Moisture readings. You give moisture readings?
I do. Every report on a crawl space.
You give 1 or 10 or what?
I give 1, but I usually take a few while I'm
Gotcha.
under there just to kind of get an average, see what's going on.
Right. Any other words of wisdom as a home inspector to our listeners?
Wow. Yeah, I guess what you don't know can hurt your wallet.
That's true. Well, I call all homes money pits because every day something pops up.
Yep.
And it never stops, never ceases. Believe me.
Yep.
Wouldn't you agree to that?
I would agree.
But there's several things you don't want to do in hot weather. Once again, you don't want to do exterior painting on a hot afternoon, or you don't want to do roofing.
Yep.
And there you go. And there's other things, but those two come to mind very quickly. You know, once again, your dryer vent, know where it's venting. If it's taking you longer than 45 to 50 minutes to dry a load of cottons, it's not your dryer.
There's a problem.
There's your problem. It's your dryer vent. If it's dirty, clean, full of lint, your clothes will not dry. It's that simple. But your house will burn down because when the dryer overheats, it's going to possibility of igniting lint, residual lint in the dryer, therefore causing a dryer fire. It's not a dryer vent fire. It's a dryer fire. The vent doesn't burn. It will after the dryer catches on fire. So I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just telling you a fact.
Get stuff checked out.
Get it checked out. Thomas, is there a website?
There is.
FreedomHomeServicesLLC.com.
You know what? It's odd because I don't think I told you. Last time I was here with you and Matthew is when he took me out in the parking lot and said, "Hey, I think I'm going to sell my business." And I called him up that afternoon. I said, "Are you taking other offers?" And so yeah, that's after this show last year about this time is when the transfer started.
Right, exactly. I remember that.
So
you
no,
can just Google Freedom Home Services.
You can, yes.
That's the best way. That's actually the quickest way to get to anybody is Google them. I mean, you can, for example, Ray Terry, Google Ray Terry, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, I had the site, right?
All kinds of stuff comes up.
FreedomHSLLC.com.
FreedomHSLLC.com. Thomas Murray's your name. Inspection's your game. Radon. Much radon going on out there?
It's spotty here and there. You never know when you're going to get hit with it. It
Gotcha.
could be your house. It could be at your neighbor's house. We generally always recommend getting one in this area just because you don't know.
Gotcha.
Don't know what's under the ground.
I hear you. Well, I appreciate you coming in.
My pleasure. Glad. Thanks for having me.
Been fun. We'll do it again sometime.
Sounds
what's
great.
your son's name?
Ben.
Bring Ben in next time.
I'll have him bring the bass with him.
That was fun. Yeah. Just bringing him is going to be a blast.
Oh, yeah.
Good kid.
Yep.
All right. Go make it a great week. And next week we'll be back here in who's in the house next week? Oh, our buddy Steve Hughes, talk about snakes. Wild Animal Man.
Nice.
Steve Hughes in studio with a student of animals. Next Saturday, right here in studio, our once a year visit from Steve Hughes. Thank you again, Thomas. I appreciate it. Now go spread some love. Find a child and mentor. Make it a great week out there. We love you all. We'll see you back here, right here, about your house next weekend.